Blaise. Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Get Blaised. Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. We are live here for another Get Blaised interview. I know it has nothing to do with drugs. Unless you want it, smoke them. If you got them, it don't matter. We are here to bring people together, introduce people to other people outside of our community here on the Blaise Radio Network, find out about them, learn some best practices, talk about being on YouTube, being on shows, watching YouTube shows, and just a little bit about the people behind what you see here. A look behind the curtain. I started doing these interviews about 2 years ago as a way to bring more people together. I was only reaching so many people with my eFed, with leaning towards death wrestling, which I absolutely love, hundreds of people. But then I fell in love with a different network, and people like this guy, Mitch Kofsky, and my good friend Earl Cole turned me onto the Hardcore Sports Network. Hey, and it has been a blast, and we are just getting started, people. And Mitch, you're not getting interviewed for the third time ever. No. When I asked Mitch if he really wanted interviewed, this is all he had to say.
Orange Cassidy daughter.
I said, Mitch, I mean, I thought you didn't like him.
Orange Cassidy daughter.
Jeez, all right. I said, well, so what's this network all about? I'm going to join your network. What do I mean? Do I just keep doing what I'm doing, or what do I do? And he's like,
Orange Cassidy daughter.
So I was like, all right, I had enough, Mitch. All right, I'll join finally. Fuck it. Bill Hate's in the building. Good to see you. So this is the uncomfortable part where I talk about myself for a little bit, just to give you a little bit of background on how I got. So this is my lucky number 13th interview. How about that? Is that a coincidence or what? Right before COVID, well, 2 years before this channel really started ramping up. At the end of 2017, I became a YouTuber because I saw a video game based off a wrestling game that I was playing, and someone was letting the computer go at it, and I thought that would be fun. And so I did a couple shows, and people were like, man, you're funny. I like your voice, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you got a radio voice. And I was like, well, that's because I'm pretending like I'm on the radio. Casey Kasem was one of my, that was one of my inspirations. Casey Kasem, top 40. And I love bringing people together. I have a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. I went and worked for 3 different corporations as a manager. So I was a general manager for Champ Sporting Goods, which that was like a dream job for me. That's where I got a lot of this collectibles and stuff that I've dealt with. Gateway Computers. That was in Indiana, the state of Indiana. I lived out in good old farm and factory country out there in good old Indiana. I loved it. But the idea was to get a district manager job and come back to Pennsylvania. They were going to send me to Detroit. I ended up going back to Pittsburgh, working for Gateway Computers as a manager, and then Verizon Wireless. So during the PC boom, I was selling PCs in the early 2000s. In the 2010s and teens, when people were all getting cell phones, I was selling cell phones. So I invested well, and now working from home, doing this, bringing you using my DJ skills. When I was a DJ, I was a drummer. A lot of things that I've done in the past, making music, creating, collecting, being organized, really came into play once I started being a content creator. My love of wrestling and football and basketball, I get to use on a daily basis, and meet people like Bill Hate, who was from the original eFed back in the early 2000s when we met on AOL.com, Instant Messenger and shit like that, ICQ, and I'm showing my age and everything. Wesley's in the house, Philly Special, Spongy. We got people from the Hardcore Sports Network and the Blaze Radio Network. Please, if you can, we talk about this a lot, go to the other network and drop a like and view for a little while. If you're on the Hardcore Sports Network, go check out on my channel, the Blaze Radio Network, or vice versa. Coach Ed, another great individual I got to meet. And so I started using things from my college, from my school, from my work, hear more. I was an interviewer. I hired people at all 3 jobs. So I figured, why not do some of my interview skills? Because the one thing I do pride myself in is being able to get along with just about anybody. You know, good, tall, short, black, white, orange, gray, gay, straight. It doesn't matter. You know, wherever you're from, I always say it doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you are, or how you are. You're welcome here, and that should cover all the bases. You know, it doesn't matter, you know, your religion beliefs, your politics beliefs. We put all that aside, and I call it escapism we have on the channel here. Whether it's a play-by-play, whether it's a cat walking behind me. What are you doing? We have special guests that pop on every once in a while. But I wanted to bring something different. I didn't want to be a guy who didn't pay attention to the chat. This chat here is what makes this go. That's what attracted me to doing this on YouTube, was live chats. People are always like, record your videos and make videos and do watch alongs and do this. I want to be live and react live with you guys. This is what I love to do, to be able to talk to you guys. And you guys are going to get questions in too later on. So think about some questions for the ladies. So this channel was not about me. It was radio, Blaise radio voice. I didn't even want to use my face until people were like, I started realizing I had reach and I could bring more people together. So I went out in all these different communities. I found like the trucker community and the paranormal community and the scratch off ticket community. Yeah, there's an entire community of just people scratching off tickets and showing who if they won or lost. The card collecting community, and I admire all of them. I don't have to agree with them, but I always admire them. And that's the thing that I pride myself in is I might not have to agree with you, but I can agree to disagree and love hearing different people's opinions. And I always learn something. So I figure if I bring in other content creators, other people that are experiencing the same thing we do, and ask them a bunch of my interview questions, we can all benefit. You guys can learn more. I've learned after every one of these interviews something new. And I'll quickly go over who I did interview. And we got a specific love of pro wrestling with me and the three ladies here. And if you guys have known me and the three ladies, we know each other a little bit. We had a pretty wild encounter where this guy was involved. Hey now. And that was over on the Hardcore Sports Network with one of the first Queens of the Ring shows. They asked me to be a guest, and I said, let's do this. So, and I said at the end of that interview, I said, now that you guys got to interview me basically for Queens of the Ring and their podcast, it's cool because I've said it here a million times. I have 90 different people that are part of my EFED. A lot of women and a lot of men. Some men that have women characters, women that have men characters. But I love the female perspective of wrestling. It's, and these ladies, plus like all the hard-nosed ones in LTD, they don't take no shit. They're not here to fuck around. It's not all cutesy wootsy. These are hardcore wrestling fans. We talk about which wrestlers you like physically, and they'll get down to the dirt of wrestling. That's what I love about these women. And if you cross them, they'll fucking tell you about yourself. But there's three different personalities at the same time. And I met these ladies through the Hardcore Sports Network, doing watch-alongs with Earl and hanging out. We got a couple. I want to make it a game show, obviously. So we're going to play a little game later on with the ladies. No, it's not spin the bottle. But we'll figure it out. Like I had my little naughty Blaise. They call me Naughty Blaise because I say silly shit just to break the ice, make people laugh. And I always say, whether you're laughing with me or at me, you're smiling. And that's all I want to do is make people smile. And then there's Pete Wall, pillar to post, the guy I blame for all this shit. Pete's the first guy that I met over here on YouTube whenever I came over that was doing similar content. And I've known Pete for 7 years, my brother from another mother. Shout out to you, my man. And that's, I met people from Canada, from right down the street, not too far from me here in the Pittsburgh area, to my New Zealander friends who I always piss them off because I call them Australian. No, we're from New Zealand. Then I said, are you from England or New Zealand? You guys sound the same. And I'm like, I'm joking. I'm just digging on you. But I have fun for bringing all these people together. And the past interviews I've done have really, I think, broadened the community and introduced us to a bunch of really good people. So I started my first interview with Troxel and Gridiron Blitz, Derek and Travis Troxel. They were doing watch-alongs. They were watching NFL games. They're fucking Lions fans, so I had to feel bad about them right off the bat because the team was terrible besides last year. But they were doing these watch-alongs, and I watched their channels grow from 1,000 getting monetized to 5,000 to 15 to 20 to 25,000 subscribers, thousands in their chats at times. During the COVID era, a lot of people reverted to what we do here and worked from home and became YouTubers. And the boom, these two guys' channels, and they're great dudes. They're funny. They want to be original. And you're going to hear a lot of the same things from me with all these interviews that I did. When I ask these content creators, what do you like about being a YouTuber? What do you hate? These girls are a little different. They were fans and they have their podcast, but they're giving us a different perspective from the outside in, but now from the inside out at the same time. If you're confused, you should be. I like to confuse people because I ramble on a lot. Grid and Trox broke my my YouTube interview cherry, if you will. And they were fun. Big Daddy Beard, I met him and we had a lot in common. We look exactly alike, first of all. Me and BDB, you see us out in public, we're twins. But the truth of the matter is, a lot of parts about me and Big Daddy Beard. We are twins, and it's in our soul. It's in our heart. Our love of hip hop music from the old school, our love of video games, our love of wrestling, our love of bringing people together. Big Daddy Beard is a beautiful human being. He started this Battle of the Beats, which I know a lot of guys that make music. So I threw him a couple artists that were my friends that I play their custom music, and Big Daddy Beard took off with it. Big shout out to Big Daddy Beard, the current LTD world champion, I may add. A lot of these people end up having characters on my digital wrestling show here. Wrestling Days, I never thought he'd let me interview him. I think he's closing on like 300,000 subscribers or something now. He's a very humble guy, but he's one of those YouTubers that didn't really change. Like I see a lot of YouTubers that get real big and then they change. They don't act the same. You know, they don't talk to the chat anymore. They don't care about the chat. It's all about them or super chats or money, all this good shit. But this guy did not. Days is still a real dude. Goddess of Pain. There she is. Goddess, my love, Goddess, you and these ladies would get along way too good. Please stay away, Goddess. Stay away. Do not become friends with these ladies because I'd be in even more trouble than I am already. There is a contingent of ladies in digital wrestling. Mrs. Utaker, Tiny, and Goddess, Cassie, just to name a few that these ladies remind me of. The passion for wrestling, their love for the sport, and the art of it. It's just, this is going to be a lot of fun. Wrestling Days was an amazing interview. And these are all on a playlist. You can go check them out. So Days was a watch-along guy. He was a toy hunt guy. He went around and did toy hunts before. That's how he grew his channel. Just hunting for different toys. Who would have thought? Jackknife Finnegan, me and him clicked it immediately in his live chat with his energy, how he talked to the live chat. Let's fucking go, boys. He was always fun. He's a gamer. He's a legit gamer. Like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that all the time. Fortnite, any games, he plays them. But he's a big wrestling fan too, so we got along fine. That was a blast interviewing him. He should start a channel just telling stories. Just his stories are amazing. Then I met these fucking Eagles fans. Fuck them. We'll move on. Bird Gang and Mitch were two of the first Eagles fans because I'm a Sixer fan, because I'm an NBA fan, but I'm in Pittsburgh. We don't have basketball. So I immediately found a bunch of Eagles content creators along with Sixer content creators, and I interviewed Mitch and Bird Gang. And no, Mitch, I'm not interviewing you again. Stop asking. Leo and Teddy, two amazing human beings. If I ever go to New York, I'm going to give them the biggest hug ever. They inspired me. Leo and Teddy became characters on my show as well. Beautiful couple, beautiful people, so loving to their community as well. And they're funny. Leo plays games. Wanston does cooking stuff on his channel. They have 3 monetized channels. They are phenomenal. The House of X, big shout out to them. And Goddess is a Finnegang member, yep. Then I went to that guy, Pete Wall, and a man named Vince McSham, 2 men who have been doing this digital wrestling thing, commentators. Just, Pete Wall was like my Wolfman Jack. He was that type of commentator. I love him, just brash. And Vince McSham can do spot-on impersonations of the old commentators. He does Jesse the Body Ventura to a T. He does Dusty Rhodes. He does Vince McMahon. He does all these old, wrestling commentators, Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby Heenan, and he sounds just like them. He's amazing. Vince is an amazing guy. We have some projects ahead of us too. So we talked a lot about wrestling and stuff like that. But Pete Wall, Vince McSham, that was fun. Wolfman Jack, that's right. Watch yourself. Well, I said I was the Casey Kasem because that's where I kind of patterned my radio voice off of. Little Casey Kasem, top 40. And Wolfman Jack, same idea. Just the energy that these guys bring and what they do. I love them to death. Pittsburgh, this is Anthony, who lives not far from me, but I met him online through collecting cards and wrestling. He was a pro wrestler in the federation that a lot of my friends from the WrestleSense podcast worked for. They wrestled, they ran promotion, and they knew who Anthony was. Great interview about sports card collectibles and wrestling. That was a blast. Sports Fury, these guys, I watched their channels blow up, and now they have one channel where they do watch-alongs, wrestling, football, basketball, baseball, etc. They are phenomenal. Huge YouTubers, great content creators, and they were fun to interview. It was tough finding a spot for when we could interview them, but when we did, we had a blast. Valhalla Sports Talk, Jeff from out west. I watched his channel grow. He's great with the graphics, fun community, amazing. for his watch-alongs too. Valhalla Sports, me and Jeff have a lot in common too, even though the sports teams we like are different. Pete McDevitt, what an inspirational story. If you are an emotional person, you will cry about his story. It's very emotional. It's very uplifting. It's very encouraging. He is one of the most genuine, amazing people I've ever met. If you can go back and watch any of these interviews, definitely check out the playlist with all of them. But the Pete McDevitt one was touching. For someone to face so much adversity and to be able to do what he does online here is just a beautiful thing. He's an amazing human being. So I've been blessed to meet all these people. And then I came back to all these hardcore sports network guys. So I got to shoot the shit. And we did a fantasy football draft too at the same time. So which this comes around WrestleMania time, which we'll be talking about WrestleMania with the ladies here shortly. So AK, Mitch, Halftime, Earl Cole, Randy Next Shift, Further AM, and Coach Ed, my brothers. Appreciate them all. Yeah, Goddess. Yes, I am definitely scared of you, Goddess of Pain. Yes, I am. I don't want to go in the creepy dungeon again. But then I took a little hiatus again, and tonight I'll be interviewing these lovely ladies, Sarah, Denise, and Cherry, the queens of the ring. We're going to bring them on here momentarily. And next week, Easter Sunday, I'm still going to do it Easter Sunday night. If you can, catch it live. If not, catch the replay. My man, Coach Blaise, Coach Carver is going to be on with me next Sunday. We'll shoot the shit about sports. And who knows, he had a character in LTD for a while as well. So that is the people that I have interviewed in the past. And like I said, these ladies already have a connection with the people in my community, and I knew we'd get along. I knew we'd have a lot of fun with each other. And we're going to break it out into 4 different stages, of course. We have 4 different categories to go over today with the ladies. The first 2 will just be quick, get to know you a little bit. Not as much because these ladies just started their podcast. They were in the chats. Not as much content creators as the other one, so a little different type of interview. So we will get started introducing you to the ladies and talking a little bit about how they got into this with Blaised Basics. We'll be right back. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Blaise Brew proudly brings to you Eliminator Beer. Don't get eliminated, get obliterated. Drink Eliminator Beer. Comes in a wide variety of flavors and colors. Available now at your local liquor stores, beer distributors, grocery stores, gyms, hairdressers, gas stations, restaurants, doctor's offices, pubs, bars, brothels, strip clubs, and street corners. Eliminator Beer, get one now. You won't be disappointed. You'll be shit-faced drunk. Not a real product. Don't try to go buy an Eliminator Beer. Yes, Goddess. Every time you're on the air with me, you get me to talk about stuff I don't want to. Correct. And these ladies have dubbed me the Naughty Blaise for the silly things I've said over there on Earl's watch-alongs with them and everything. And yes, you can have dad jokes here. Another interactive thing I love doing with the channel. If you're in the live chat, you can do ! dad joke. And Nightbot, my buddy Johnny Five from the movie Short Circuit, that's my Nightbot. I rehired him. He'll give you a corny, stupid dad joke, which sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're not. Dad joke. Don't trust atoms. They make up everything. The cornier, the better is what I say. So we are going to get into the questions with Blaised Basics with the ladies. So let's introduce you to them. The first lady I'm going to introduce, I met in a lot of group chats, just seeing the name over and over and over and over and over. And then started to do, watch-alongs. And an amazing person. Mitch got to interview her. I did give away a lot of my interview questions to Mitch. Been stealing my interview questions, but Mitch actually, and I love helping other people in his Inside the Mind series that he's doing, interviewing people. Like someone said, like, how can we improve the Hardcore Sports Network? And shout out to Mac the Giants fan, came to Mitch and said, why don't we do formal interviews with people within the network so people can get to know them a little better. And I said, well, Mitch, I've been doing that with people outside of my network so I can introduce more people to the network. And he wanted some questions. So I went over my interview questions and basically gave him all the ones I used because they're just basic interview questions. Now I've twisted and turned for all the guests that I've had before, but tonight we're going to ask some of those basic questions, and then we'll also get into a little game we have later. So the first lady I'd like to introduce is Miss Sarah Hapka. Welcome, Sarah.
Hi, Blaise. How are you?
I'm good. It's been a long time coming for this, especially after we had the other interview. Couldn't wait for this to hang.
It was so much fun.
Well, and it was right around Valentine's Day too, so I did the fake suit shirt and the flowers and the chocolate candy for you ladies,
And that fantastic picture of yourself.
Hey, I shaved right before that too.
We appreciated it.
I'm not telling you where I shaved, but I shaved right before this picture. I shaved. Trust me. So we're gonna do this because you ladies get along so well, and the group atmosphere. We're just gonna do like a group interview. I'm gonna bring you all three on, and we'll just talk about wrestling and talk about some stuff. So, the second lady I got to introduce to. Then when I heard her start talking about her wrestling fandom, I was like, holy shit, it's like the female version of me. Everything that I like, she was like been living it down there in North Carolina. And there's my little accent a little bit down there in that. But we got a little bit of accents here between people. I love the Cassie Madam Red one. She's in Michigan. So she's got a lot of that Michigan, that Midwest tone up there. She says challenge and calendar. She got to check her calendar. Sarah, you have a little bit of Midwest tone?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, so you'll get the, got to check the calendar, stuff like that. It's all good. I love different people. I always say if we were all the same, if everyone was too similar, it'd be boring. I love differences. So I'm pissed at Mitch because he asked her the question about Sting's last match already. So it's already spoiled. That was going to be my big question for her. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest Drew McIntyre fan you'll ever meet. Cherry's in the building.
Hi, hello, Blaise. Hello.
And love having you on. A lot in common, like I said, with some of the favorites that we've had and how we grow up with the old WCW, WCCW, and how we love indie federations and stuff too.
Yes.
So wrestling will be a very common scenario throughout this. If you want to call it an interview, we're just going to have fun and talk.
Yep. And I still don't mind talking about being at Sting's last match with you. I can talk about that all day long.
I know. Well, I'm sure we'll get to it. And the final one, who I met through you guys, so it's like a chain reaction. You meet one person, you meet another, and the next thing you know, you have a new group of friends. You guys are getting a lot of love in the chat.
Hello, Goddess. Hello. Oh
no, Cherry and Goddess in the same room. Oh. That's just asking for trouble in a nice, loving way. Trust me. I've grown to know these ladies in the chat and that are on here, and I love them to death. These are my kind of people, men, women, ladies. It doesn't matter. It was just the connections that we have, like I said, through what we love and how we love it, just bringing people together. And through you two, I get to meet Denise. Final test, you can say. How's it going, Denise?
I'm doing good. And yourself, Blaise?
My thought is naughty. I feel like I'm disappointing you ladies because I'm normally really.
There's still time.
We got plenty of time.
So we will play. There's a lot of people saying what's up to you guys. Yes, I'm in trouble. The more, yeah. Yeah. All right. So real quick, like some of the questions that I have in the basic stuff isn't really apropos because I know, Cherry, you've done some Disney content on your channel and now doing the watch-alongs and stuff. And it was funny that I was having conversations with Mitch. I was like, Mitch, do you ever think of scooping up any of these ladies that go to some of these watch-alongs and are there all the time that love wrestling and sports? Do you ever think of like trying to get a female content creator for the network? I was like, diversity is always good. And he was like, I've been thinking about it. And I was like giving him ideas. And I was like, one of these times, these ladies will come on and do a real, yeah. Maybe AJ Styles will come on since he got tagged personally.
You just had to be there for that,
Yeah. And Crystal, another loyal follower of the ladies here. Great to see you. And the beautiful Josie. We've heard stories about her wrestling fandom too. And we love the kids, Josie. We love the kids. Such a big part of wrestling fandom that a lot of people forget. we become smarts
So
and
cute.
wrestling know-it-alls, and we forget about the kids and casuals and people that really matter. Christina, there's another one. Love
Birthday
you,
girl in the
Christina.
house.
Hey, girl.
Birthday
Oh,
girl.
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Christina Rivera. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Gotta sing happy birthday for everybody. And happy birthday to everybody else on the day you crawled out of your mom's vagina, okay? Or were pulled out, whatever.
There he is.
There it is.
That covers
There
it. So I'm gonna start with Sarah. And this can be a concise question. How did you get into being a part of these YouTube streams?
I was in Earl's chat, and Earl had invited me to be on his wrestling experience show that he does on Thursday nights. So I was invited to be a part of that, and then he asked me to do the actually did AEW Dynamite watch along, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
And this is what I really want to drive home with people out there. How much the chat means. That these ladies, basically Sarah specifically, because we're talking about her first, came from a live chat. Like she became a fan who became, whether you like to admit it or not, you guys are on shows, you're content creators to an extent. You're on here, you're giving product to people to enjoy. And when you watch Earl's watch-alongs, it's literally just like watching wrestling with your buddies. That's what I love about it. When I started doing these interviews and stuff, when I did the WrestleSense podcast, I said, I don't want to come on here and be like, match number 1, elbow drop, match. I don't want to do that. I said, I just want to hang out. I'm a big fan of the Pat McAfee show. If you ever watch his podcast, he's just chilling with his buddies that he's known his whole life talking about sports. And that's what I wanted to bring, that type of vibe to WrestleSense and these interviews. What about you, Cherry? You can touch a little bit more about the Disney content, but like getting into the wrestling content and everything. We know you love it. We've talked about it, but how did you get involved in the network specifically and in these chats?
Sure. Like I said, I have my YouTube channel where it actually started as a karaoke channel. My husband.
Oh my God, Goddess did karaoke channel too.
Yeah.
I'm in trouble.
So my husband and I
Told
used
you.
to do karaoke on a very regular basis when we lived in Richmond, Richmond, Virginia, and we would film ourselves doing karaoke, and I just thought it'd be hilarious just to put two idiots on YouTube singing songs. And but that kind of grew from, like, after I had Josie, when I started putting her in dance, I started doing the mom of a young dancer, trying to give tips on, how to do certain things as the mom of a young dancer. But then we started going to Disney World a lot. And so I started filming like unboxings and then, vlogging our trips. But then we started attending, when Josie got a certain age, we started attending a lot of live wrestling shows, because she's been a huge fan of wrestling since she basically, as you so wonderfully put it, crawled out of my vagina.
Hey, she gives it to the wrestlers too. I love it. Those videos that you have of her interacting with wrestlers and talking to them. That's what's so fun about going to wrestling shows.
She is hilarious. I mean, she gets into it. But I started filming these, and I'm like, I'm gonna start putting some of our experiences on our channel. So it has become mostly a wrestling thing, but we also have like a lot of travel on there. Like the most recent vlogs we did are from our Dallas trip back in July, when she actually went to attend the dance camp for the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. And then, going back to Earl, Denise and I and Christina both used to do this other live stream with this certain person who we found out later was not a nice person. But we met Earl through that. And
he's not that guy, Pillar to Post, he's not a nice person.
He's not, yeah. Oh,
no, I love him. And it's a sex education here as well, ladies and gentlemen. We're not just talking about wrestling. We're teaching the kids. Spongy's a young guy. Now I ruined it.
Oh, dang it.
I knows where babies come from. Thank you, Mama Spongy. You can thank me later.
But like I said, we met Earl through that, and I came on his wrestling experience a few times through that particular, if you want to call it a connection. But just, stayed in touch with Earl even after that kind of broke down. And he invited me one Monday to come on for a watch along on his channel after that kind of settled down a little bit. And I was just like, yeah, sure, I'll come on. And, went on there and had a blast. And that's how I met Sarah, and Denise and I had known each other long before that. And we just, it's like we had this like instant chemistry. Like you said, we're all four of us, Earl, Denise, Sarah, and I are from completely different backgrounds and different, geographic locations, but we have a love of wrestling, and we just have this chemistry, and it's hilarious. I mean, we have so much fun together. But that's kind of how I came into the network. Mitch asked me if I wanted to join, and Earl asked me if I wanted to join, and I said yes. And after I'd been on the stream a couple of times, and I said sure, and
you've got. I told Mitch, I was like, Terry has the gift of gab. I was like, she can easily run a show, carry the load. I mean, you have three different, like you just said, different types of personalities. But what brings them together is their love for wrestling. So why not get together every once in a while and talk about your love for wrestling? Yep. Because, there are some in out there that I've seen. When I was going to do the Wrestle Sense podcast, I studied, wrestling content creators till ad nauseum. Like I was sick to my stomach because of most of the way people that tried to bring the wrestling content. It's the shock jock, Howard Stearns type stuff. And it's a lot of abrasiveness that I didn't like. I wanted to be the nice guy. I wanted to be friendly, bringing people together. And I was like, the people that were with Earl, like watching Earl's shows now, you guys just have so much fun. It's his funny Earlisms and being silly and just jagging on people, busting your balls. If you look at the people in my chat, they're already busting each other's balls like we've known each other our whole lives. That's the beauty of this platform, in my opinion. I've become a big advocate of this because when I started, I was like, you can't fall in love with people that you never met or can't shake their hand or hug them from all across the country. And I'm like, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. When I was down and out and I was sick and I had my mom living with me and walking with a cane and my health was really bad, these people were there for me. Like whether they were in Ohio, just a state over, or Canadian or from the UK. And, so uplifting, like the communities come together. That's why when I hear all this community's toxic or these people are toxic or that, you're just in a wrong community. So if I'm going to do anything while I'm on this planet doing this, it's bringing people together, more people together, even people that don't like each other. You go to work with people you don't like. I'm sure everyone went to school with someone they didn't like. It's the same idea. If you can put your differences aside, you can bring so many people together to have fun. People told me I couldn't do what I'm doing here on YouTube. Told me I couldn't do it. You're not going to be able to do it. You're bringing too many people together to try to play a video game and you're not going to be happy. You're not going to make I don't want to make everyone happy. I just want to make everyone smile or forget about whatever is going on in their real life. And then when I saw the people in the network, your network, I don't even call it mine. It's our network. Like Mitch brought me over and I was like, Jeff was the big reason, because when Jeff passed away, I immediately told the people in the network, I'm not trying to fill Jeff's shoes by no way, shape, or form. But he was the epitome of what a content creator should be. Working hard, and he always respected everyone's opinions, but still voiced his. Like there's a difference between, friendly banter and debate and being a dick. There's a big difference.
Yep.
And now Denise, you kind of knew Cherry for a while before you came into this fold. So explain to us how you got all into this.
Correct. Yes. Well, like we do on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, like she would share the links for the overall watch along, and I was like, okay, I'll watch it because obviously it's to support Cherry. And just like week after week of watching it, I'm like, okay, this is entertaining. This is fun. Like, how can I be a part of this? I want to like be a part of this somehow. Like, but I want to like interject myself. Like, hey, can I join in? Kind of a thing. And it just kind of went from there, really. And then I was introduced to Sarah, And I did have interactions with Earl in the past, but they were very brief. But it's how I got introduced more so to Earl, as well as Mitch, you, and a bunch of other amazing people.
It's been, I mean, it's just like you said, you wanted to be a part of it, you know, and to watch some of these shows and then want to be a part of it more, maybe more than just being in the chat. And I've always talked to people like, no matter what you're doing here on YouTube, I think there's probably more, but there's 3 like levels of engagement. There's people that are way into it. Their love for whatever's on there is super high. They're always in the chat, super active. And there's some people in the middle that just love to be a part of something. They don't need to chat as much, but they'll say something every once in a while. And then there's people that they don't understand how to be with a group, and they need coddling. They need a little help. They need a little encouragement. They need, you know, hey, we do things this way, or we like to talk about this, or we don't talk about that. That's one of the biggest things I think in these shows, that the leader, the content creator, the guy that's running the show, whether it's Mitch or Earl or Cherry or me, you have to be in some sort of control, or this YouTube shit can get out of hand. You know, people can be trolls. Are going to come in and say shit, you know, that you don't want to be said just because they want to shit on your parade, you know. And I always tell people, whether there's 2 people in your chat, 20 or 200, just do your stick, do your thing, have fun. And even if you're a Dallas Cowboy fan like Alexander, you can still come hang out with us. Go fuck yourself. No. But that's what I wanted to get through with the basics, is how it brought this YouTube thing brought together people that are very different, but have this common bond that we can have fun with. And I always say, you never know what someone's going through or what they've gone through before in their life. I like to say, consider it. Be considerate. You know, those are like T-shirts and shit. Like, it should be on a fucking T-shirt. But I mean it. I really do. I mean, if you're more considerate, you get what you give. You know, it's okay. Plus, I live in a world where in e-fetting, you are your character. It's the Dungeons and Dragons aspect for those D&D players out there to get so sunk into their character that they become their character. And that's not a bad thing. That's what pro wrestling, I think, kind of engulfs. You fall in love with these larger-than-life characters. Like Cherry and I, Sting, huge Sting fans. I think all 4 of us are. But the way Cherry was explaining her love for Sting, I was just like, yes! The energy, the way he changed his persona, the way he was always fun, the way he's a general good person outside. Like, that's very rare with pro wrestlers. They always say, sometimes don't meet your heroes. Most of them can become pieces of shit. You know, that's why, and a lot of people take this the wrong way. I would never disrespect anyone that passes away. Let me preface it with this. But I'm not buying into really emotionally being like, the world is going to end because some celebrity passed away. You know what I mean? I'd rather care about the people that I love, that I know, that I've talked to. You know, yes, like I saw it all the time. Prince and Michael Jackson, when they died, yes, it was horrible because they were 2 iconic people in music. But did your world really change because Prince and Michael Jackson passed away? But no, your grandmother might be dying in a hospital, or your sister-in-law that you haven't talked to. You know, there's people closer to you that to really let it out, other than just, you know, oh my goodness, someone, you know, Betty White, who was 99, passed away. I mean, God rest her soul. And I'm not disrespecting anyone that's dead, but it does make you go back and think about the TV shows they were in, the music they were in. And we're going to talk about nostalgia here in a minute when we get to the things that you like. And that's when we're really going to delve in a little bit deeper about what you like. And then we're going to do the situation that the base is in. We're going to different situational things. And then we always close our shows out with at the end of the day. And that's what we're going to do. Andrew Dubbs, my friend, also from a different community, came into ours. Betty was never supposed to die. Exactly. Got it.
No.
Never.
So
She was immortal.
She just transitioned like a Jedi. She just turned blue like a Jedi, and she's just like energy all around, man. I'm telling you.
All right. These are right. Go into what you like. So we'll go right into the what you like segment right now.
After these messages, be right back.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
He's He-Man, the most powerful man in the universe. Skeletor is his enemy.
Here's He-Man, Skeletor, and Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
You're doomed, He-Man.
Oh, yeah? Watch this action, Dad. Now I have the power.
He-Man and Skeletor each sold separately. Castle Grayskull also sold separately from the Masters of the Universe collection from Mattel.
All
That's
right.
the most amazing thing ever.
Awesome.
Love it.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Oh no, the blonde guy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when I found out that like old 80s commercials are copyright free, you can play them. I started downloading a ton of them for like these talk shows and stuff just for nostalgia. And that's where the Legion of Dork came up too. And I'll play a little clip about what that is. It's basically all nostalgia. It's retro TV, movies, video games, cartoons, comic books, toys, all 80s nostalgia and 90s and stuff. So I love doing that. We'll be bringing you more of that. But this one is called What You Like. The first thing I'm going to ask is very simple. This is one that Mitch stole from me. Who's your favorite? We'll start with Denise on this one. Your favorite superhero.
My favorite. Oh my god.
Favorite superhero.
Oh, that's rough because I don't watch Marvel or DC. Oh crap.
Any type of superhero. It can be whoever your superhero is. Doesn't have to be Marvel
You know
or DC.
what? I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman just because.
Okay.
Just because, I mean, like, why not? If she's the equivalent of Superman, again, why not?
I'm down. All right. Wonder Woman it is. Cherry, favorite superhero.
Oh man, see, I was gonna say Wonder Woman because back in the day, I used to wear my Wonder Woman underoos, and when the show would come on, I had my jump rope, and and that was my lasso of truth, and I would just like spin and spin when the theme song would come on until I would get like really sick and like get like almost pass out. But just to go a different route,
Sure.
if we're talking Marvel, it's Iron Man.
Nice.
If we're talking DC, then it's Batman.
Cool.
What you getting?
Oh Lord, please! I hope it's not Wonder Woman underoos.
No, I mean I did have underoos back when I was a kid, but they were Spider-Man. I'm a big Spider. My brother got this made. It's me as Spider-Man.
Oh, that's so cool!
Love it.
So cute.
Blaise bobblehead as Spider-Man.
Oh God, yeah, that's right. Crystal just said.
Oh, that's awesome.
X-Men '97 on Disney Plus now. That's like one of my favorite favorite animations.
Oh yeah, this is one of my favorite birthday presents of all time. My brother surprised me with that one year. I was like, I love getting surprised. We got a lot of Supermans and Batmans and Spider-Mans and Iron Mans in the chat. He-Man, definitely one of my favorites too. I still have my He-Man guy. Jack the Ripper. Some people like the bad guys. Magneto.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hulk. What about you, Sarah? Favorite superhero?
Well, I always liked the Joker in Batman. But definitely Batman. I don't know if you can count him as a superhero, but I like Deadpool.
Yeah.
X-Men.
Deadpool's great.
That's really an X-Men.
Yeah, like I thought Deadpool's cool. I like Wolverine. So yeah, I really like I do enjoy the superhero movies. It's the whole reason why I got HBO Max was to watch the new Justice League movie when it came out a few years back. So
see, I got a lot of diehard like comic book friends, but they were one of the ones where every time like a DC or Marvel movie came out, well, it's not like the comic, or why'd you have to ruin this or that? And I'm like, why so negative? We have fucking superhero movies for fuck's sake. When we were kids, we didn't have that. We had cartoons that were cheesy. And I remember the 70s Spider-Man TV show, how corny it was.
I do too. Loved it.
Loved that show. I actually had a commercial for it, but the music from it got copyright, so I can't play it. But that's what I love. And here's the question for the chat. Who is all the people that Batman? Who is the best Batman and why is it Michael Keaton?
It is Michael Keaton. There's no debate.
Definitely.
hands down.
That's an easy one to start. Now, for those who don't know, and a lot of people that do know these ladies might already know this answer. And we're going to start with Cherry because it's the obvious answer. Favorite wrestler of all time.
Of all time.
Favorite wrestler right now, and okay, we'll do now and all time.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, my favorite wrestler of all time, you've already mentioned it, is Sting. I started following him as a preteen in UWF, going way back to like when he was
Blade Runner.
And just always followed him. And like I said, I was fortunate enough to go see his final match in Greensboro fairly recently. And since 2007, Mr. Mackin. And not just because, I mean, like I said, he's been my favorite since 2007, but Drew has done so much for my daughter. Like, you guys have no idea. Like, he's just been just so amazing to her. And if I didn't just love him before, after every interaction he's ever had with her, he's my dude. He's just and he's like you said, and I have this in my pinned tweet. He's an amazing wrestler, but he's an even better human being. So
I definitely have to add a layer to that. If you tweet about Drew McIntyre in any off-putting way at all, this, pardon the pun, in a totally nice way, this bitch is gonna get you. She will let you know about yourself, and I fucking love it.
Off with your head.
I mean, even if it could be the slightest little thing that might be a little bit about Drew, she's on it. She is hammering them. She's letting them know about herself. That's fandom. That is true, and I love it. You're
now, I will say now, if it's if it's a respectful way, you say, he's not my favorite wrestler. Okay, fine. But if you're attacking him on a personal level when he's literally done nothing to you, oh yeah, I go all in.
Oh yeah, nobody.
So
needs
I
to
said it earlier about falling in love with people, and I'm just not just talking about relationships, just falling in love with another human being as a friend, like within a network. And I didn't think it was possible. Wrestling Mama, my friend, she's from Jersey, and she met her husband that now lives in Canada online through this type of stuff. So they're together, and they're two of the greatest people I've ever met. I love both of them, Hugo and Wrestling Mama. Just one example of, you can meet someone. Eventually, yes, I'd love to hug people. I'm a hugger. I want to shake people's hands. Like, it sucks interviewing these people because I am that type of person. Like, when COVID came around, it tortured me to go to the grocery store or nothing because I couldn't shake nobody's hand. I couldn't hug them. Like, I'm that guy. I'm that guy that, whether we went to high school together and I haven't seen you for 30 years or we see each other at work every day, I'm probably going to want to hug if I'm cool with you, and I'm going to make fun of you in a fun, happy way if I'm cool with you. If I don't like you, I probably won't talk to you at all. But if I'm making fun of you and digging on you, that means I like you. And that's the type of personality that I like. And these ladies jumped right on Naughty Blaise and fell right into it. And we got along and just had fun. No matter what was going on, I wanted to help take it away. So we got favorite superheroes, favorite wrestler for Cherry. What about you, Denise? Favorite wrestler now and of all time?
All time, Trish Stratus. She did get me into watching wrestling back in, I think, like 99. I think it was 99, maybe 98. I can't remember. It was a while ago. And right now, obviously, Mr. Styles. Love him to death.
Another one. That's another one of my favorites of all time.
I love him to death.
Sting, Road Warriors, Jericho. Those are like some of my favorites of all time. The ones that keep reinventing themselves. Road Warriors. If you ask tag teams, there's no tag team even close to the Road Warriors. And people get mad at me because I never liked the Hart Foundation. I never liked DX. I think HBK has the worst theme song ever. And if you like it, I will make you hate it in less than 2 minutes. I start singing it on my stream sometimes, and people are like, please stop, please. Because I'm like, I'm a sexy boy. It's more better like it. I'm not your boy, toy. I'm just a sexy boy.
Oh, God.
The worst theme song of all time. Sorry, that's just me. I was never into Bret Hart or HBK or those guys. I like the Road Warriors and the face painted guys and shit like that. Sarah, you're up. Favorite now, favorite of all time. Wait a minute. Mitch finally gave his. So Mitch is saying right now it's Drew, and of all time it's Orange Cassidy. Got it.
Yes!
I was gonna say
Chat.
an orange.
Mitch, oh, hold on. I'm getting word. Mitch has something to say.
Orange Cassidy daughter.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought he'd say.
Love you, Mitchell.
Love you, Mitch.
Oh my God.
Oh God, the worst theme song ever. All right.
It is
Sorry,
terrible.
Sarah.
You know, I actually heard in several interviews that he would get dragged all the time for his theme song and how awful it was.
If I was one of the boys in the back, I would too.
Oh my God.
I don't want to go there at all,
rip
but if
on
you take
him
the
for
words
it.
literally, it's kind of sus too, if you ask me.
Can I
It
just add in, Alexander, you are entitled to your wrong opinion.
Yeah.
You are entitled to your very wrong
He already
opinion.
dragged
but it's
Drew
cool.
into it. He can kiss my butt.
But Sarah,
Wrong
did you say
answer.
yours? Or did we cut you
No,
off?
not yet.
Okay.
Go for it, girl.
I'm good at
I
that.
have a lot of a couple of all-time favorites that I
Do
really
Do I need to
like.
cue up the Jeopardy music for you?
No.
You know, current. No. Just start with the current.
Okay. My current favorite, I actually have two. One from AEW, one from WWE. So WWE favorite is Randy Orton, has been for many, many, many years.
Fair.
My AEW favorite is Will Ospreay. He's incredible in the ring.
Bro.
And then my all-time favorite one of my top all-time favorites would have to be Undertaker.
Nice. We got some big Undertaker fans in the community out here. See, Crystal, people are allowed to like HBK's song. They really are. I'm not trying to get you to not like it, but to me, that's the worst fucking theme song
It's
of all time.
terrible.
Like, I don't know how they sat in the back
It is
and they were like,
catchy.
"Yeah, that's perfect for you,
It's
sexy
catchy,
boy,
though.
boy, yeah." That
Well,
sounds
look
like
in
a
the
hit.
chat. Look in the chat. We got some serious tag team fans
Yeah.
here. I see Dove's Wrestling loves Beer Money. I love me
Beer
some Beer
Money's
Money
great.
and Motor
Edge
City
and
Machine
Christian.
Guns.
It seems like we're going to see them again here soon.
But Primetime, look, that's like a who's who of the
Yeah, I
people
know.
I grew up with right there. Oh my God. So Primetime, I actually saw the Rock and Roll Express versus the Midnight Express, the 3-week stand at the Charlotte Coliseum back in '85, the one that drew more money than the A show that went, I think it was somewhere in Virginia, with Dusty and Magnum and Ric Flair. The second night, the second week drew so much money. Dusty's like, "Oh, I want to get in on that." So he pulled A show into that show. I was there for that. That was amazing. And I was there when the Rock and Roll Express beat the Russians in Shelby, North Carolina for the tag team championships.
There's the man, Coach Blaise, that I'll be interviewing next Sunday. To find out more about the man from down south, Coach Blaise, coaching and doing watch-alongs and great content on his channel. Love it. Let's see where to go here. All right, this is a different one. I thought about this one because I think it came up, and so I'm kind of stealing this off of Mitch's. Maybe I heard this off of him. And we'll start with Sarah. We'll go back around. You could, and I think this might have been where I heard the question, so I kind of know where Sarah might be going with this. If you could travel to anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Italy.
That was the answer, and that was the question that was before. Why Italy?
My grandfather actually came here from Italy when he was 2. So we don't know a whole lot about his side of the family. My father, before he passed, did a bunch of ancestry research, and he kind of had pinpointed it down to a general vicinity. So I wouldn't mind going there and doing actually boots on the ground, doing more research actually there and trying to maybe find some distant relatives. I think it would be really neat.
Cool. Anywhere in the world, Denise, where would you go?
Anywhere in the world. Oh, I have a couple, but for
Throw out
a
a couple.
while, like even Scotland's always been on my bucket list, like for years. Just the like the landscape and like everything. It's gorgeous. And even like watching even Ireland too. I mean, I remember watching PS I Love You and I was like, I want to go there so bad. just literally, I just want to see like the landscaping and everything. Just that is what caught my attention from the get-go.
Cool. Cherry, anywhere in the world.
So actually, I've almost kind of planned a dream trip. I actually work for a travel agent now, so I can.
Sweet.
I've
cool.
actually plotted this. I found this cruise, and I want to do this so bad. It's actually from Scotland to Ireland to France.
Oh wow.
And because I have Native American Cherokee I'm 4 quarters, Native American Cherokee and French on my mom's side, and then Scottish and Irish on my dad's side. So I want to go to all those places, and like she talked about, it's just so beautiful. Scotland and Ireland just look so incredibly beautiful, and in France, I want to go to Paris. I really do. I've always wanted to go to Paris, and maybe Versailles, and just soak in. I'm a big history buff too, so just soak in all that culture and all that history of all those.
Cool. See, me, I've been on a cruise, Jamaica cruise, Haiti, Grand Cayman, Jamaica, Mexico, and it was all those in one little trip. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. This is one that God has said to. Hawaii is one place I've always wanted to go to. Obviously, I'd want to go outside of the States too, somewhere like the UK or something like that, or Australia maybe. But I'd love to travel.
I did go to Nassau, the Bahamas once.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's the only time I've ever been outside the country.
Let's stay with Cherry on this one. Favorite TV show or movie, like when you're from childhood TV or movie?
Oh, childhood. Oh,
yeah,
God.
From your childhood. Favorite show when you were a kid? TV, cartoon, movie, anything that brings back your childhood.
Well, as a kid, when it comes to cartoons, I was a Bugs Bunny fan. I still am. I love it. TV show, definitely Dukes of Hazzard, because I had a huge crush on John Schneider, kind of, sort of, like Bo Duke. And movie, still my favorite movie. It's actually kind of moving more into like my early teen years, but Dirty Dancing is and Princess Bride and Monty Python and the Holy Grail are my 3 favorite movies. So
all those around that Dirty Dancing era, I think it would be like 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller, like all those movies in that one little era. I'm always attracted.
Oh, and Lost Boys.
Yes, that one too. Like all those in that is that late 80s, early 90s, maybe. That just attracts me. We got people. This is what's cool about it too. So we're going from TV to cartoons.
Powerpuff Girls.
Tom and Jerry, Power Rangers.
I love you too, Goddess.
G.I. Joe. I knew you two would get along way too good. Way too good.
Really?
Wrestling Mama too. Wrestling Mama, stay away from these ladies are mine. I was joking earlier today that I get to go do it with 3 ladies later on tonight.
You weren't wrong. I mean,
technically, I'm doing it with 3 ladies right now. 16 Candles. That's these Flintstones. Jaws. The first Jaws. Charlie's Angels.
Oh wow.
What about
that was
you,
my first horror movie I ever watched.
Something that brings your childhood back. TV, movies, cartoons.
me, cartoon, Hey Arnold. Love me some Hey Arnold. TV show, Saved by the Bell, hands down. I love Saved by the Bell. Maybe some Family Matters. I love Family Matters. Julia White as Steve Urkel, freaking gold. And movie, like off the top of my head with everything, it has to be because it got me into horror movies, and it was my first horror movie, Scream.
Nice.
I love Scream.
Her and I have that in common. We're both big horror movie buffs.
Cool.
Yeah. Me too.
Oh boy. See?
No, we learned something new about each other.
So you said Saved by the Bell, so I just happened to have Zach Morris's phone here.
No shit. Yes. Love it.
The person working at a cell phone store, I was like, someone turned this in. I was like, is that a bag phone? That's a fucking Zach Morris
that's
phone,
amazing.
Morris phone.
You could hurt somebody with this thing too, man. I'm telling you.
Those suckers were heavy.
Ooh, Ghost. You talking about the movie Ghost, Dubs Wrestling? Oh my God. Oh my God, I love the movie Ghost. I saw that
Saved
one.
by the Bell. What about you, Sarah? Something from your child. What brings back your childhood? TV, movies, cartoons?
I always liked the She-Ra cartoon
Ooh, yeah.
because I had a costume and dressed up like her when I was a little girl. So I always would watch that. My favorite movie was Princess Bride. I had to watch it every time I was homesick from school. So Princess Bride and Labyrinth, those two were my favorites when I was a little girl with David Bowie.
Look at these. Magwell taking it back. Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon. Jeez.
Flash
I'm
Gordon.
trying to think.
Love that movie.
Cartoons, yeah. Like I said, She-Ra, watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny. And then I watched like the shows that were on like TJIF on ABC on Friday nights. So like Family Matters, Full House,
Yeah.
Perfect Strangers. Like that was the stuff I watched when I was a kid. But I did like Full House. That was one of my favorites when I was.
That's what on the Legion of Dork reboot where I rebooted it. There was a slide of over 100 old TV shows that we went through, and it was just like memory lane watching these slideshows come up of like 8 is Enough and Happy Days and all these real old. It really is like go watch the last Legion of Dork show. I'm gonna do another one where it's gonna be toys and cartoons and comics, but the one we just did was all 70s and 80s TV sitcoms.
Oh my God.
Three's Company, Laverne and Shirley, all that shit, man.
I got one for you. You remember Sha Na?
Yeah. Oh, Bat Ball, Bow Bow. Yeah, I remember Sha Na. Mac, what's happening there?
So Goddess actually mentioned Xena.
Yeah, Xena, I saw that in there too.
Yeah, Xena.
So I have met most of the cast of Xena and Achilles, including Bruce.
Oh, seriously?
Including Bruce Campbell. Yes.
Was it like a Comic-Con thing or something like that?
I used to
Ash
go
versus Evil Dead.
Oh God, Ash versus Evil Dead is one of the most amazing shows ever.
I love that show.
Actually, I used to go to Dragon Con in Atlanta. I went for 15 years in a row, and them and the Farscape people were always there. I mean, oh God, yeah. Other than like Sorbo, Lawless, O'Connor, and Michael Hurst, I met Carl Urban there, but it was right before Lord of the Rings.
No way.
Oh yes,
really?
Oh yes, God, he's so nice. Oh my God.
And he's so handsome.
Thundercats, Voltron. Yeah, we'll get into cartoons, video games, all kinds of fun stuff. All right, that's good enough for the what you like. We're gonna do the fun stuff now. Situations. We got a couple situational questions. One little game that a friend of mine, shout out to the Sunnies and my friend Jamie. She used to do this game on her live streams a lot, and it was always a blast. And with the people we have here, trust me, with the people that are in the chat and us ladies here, baby, hey now, girl, we're gonna have some fun. So we're gonna get into the next segment. I don't know if you guys remember DJ Rob Bass and or MC Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
It takes you to make a thing go right.
There was a part of the song where it said it's the situation that the bass is in. It's kind of stingy. That's why I don't want to win. I can go into the whole rap. I know it. But the situational questions is always what the foundation of an interview is, where you go into an interview and the interviewer puts you in different situations to see how you react. So in the past, I've done that here with asking specific questions, or we did whose jersey is it anyway? I would show jerseys and people try to guess who it was. So we'll do some situation stuff with the situation the bass is in after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's a dork, it's a couple dorks, reminiscing some nostalgia in classic video games, toys, and cartoons. I'm your boy Blaise McCoy, and with my awesome friend Super Nacho, we invite you to join us in the Legion of Dork, a podcast where we talk about our favorites of the past and discuss it all with you. The good old days when video game arcades were full, pinball, and more. When the toy stores were stocked to the ceilings with all your favorites like G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. Well, it started all with Pong with me in the 70s, then Atari, Nintendo, Sega, ColecoVision and television and more brought new classics. Classics like Space Invaders, pew, 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 and Donkey Kong. God. Pitfall. Dig Dug was a great one. Spent a lot of quarters on Galaga, that's for damn sure. Tecmo Bowl, hut, touchdown, and all the sports games. Super Mario Brothers became an instant classic. So did Zelda and Sonic the Hedgehog. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out was a great one to play. So was Street Fighter, Hadouken, and all the fighting games. Star Wars toys and Hot Wheels is where I started collecting toys back in the day. Masters of the Universe, and you can't forget the bad guys. Of course. Transformers, more than meets the eye. Inhumanoids are here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Heroes in a Half Shell. Can't forget the wrestling figures, WWF, AWA, and those little guys, the Muscles. Yeah, I love playing with those, are great. Thundercats, ho! And even Voltron brought them all together with movies, cartoons, and toys. Join us in the Legion of Dork right here on the Blaise Radio Network here on YouTube.
The fun, all the shows A to Z and the facts. What's behind what you see? TV Guide, the whole world of TV. That's entertainment. The stars underneath all the glow and the news from the people who know. TV Guide, it's a fabulous show. So buy a TV Guide and read TV Guide. That's entertainment.
All right.
That is so cool. Oh my God.
TV Guide. All right. I should play the commercials first. Now I forget what segment we're on. Situation that the base is in. So situational questions. So the first one, it's really cut and dry. It's a standard interview question, and we're going to start with Denise this time.
Oh boy.
Tell us something that none of us would know about you.
Oh my God.
Something that none of us here know. It might be something Cherry might know because she's your friend, and maybe everyone else doesn't know. Something that we don't know about you that's intriguing. Something interesting about Denise. What makes Denise tick?
What me? Oh.
Not in the naughty, dirty way.
I was gonna say, you sure you want to hear about that?
Sure about that, Blaise.
Once we hit 10 p.m., then we can go past prime time. Then we can get into real dirty nice.
It's almost there. It's almost there. Oh my.
Something we might not know about Denise. A hobby or something you've done or seen or known, and people might not know about you.
I love to write and I love to draw. Really, Mitch? AJ Styles, which got me.
So I'm I'm a graphic designer too, but I can't draw people or animals. I'm all abstract, like logos and stuff behind me and stuff. So what types of things did you like to draw when you draw?
For me, like I can draw like humans, people, anything to save my life either. I'm very good with like drawing cartoon characters. Like put it in front of me and give me like a couple of hours, maybe a couple of days, like, and I can pretty much get almost spot on. I mean, other than like that, I mean, when I go to the shows, I love making the posters, and like I'll take months working on just one of them because I want it to be perfect. Because I'm a perfectionist like that. Like I has to look like it has to be good. It just has to look good.
And that's a good point too, because if you think about a wrestling show and you've seen it, everyone holds their signs up. What's going to differentiate yours from everybody else and draw you to theirs? That's why you'll see a lot of like bright yellow or pink to try to draw you out. I did one when I went to Cleveland. The WCW logo that looked really weird, like it would look like a spaceship. I drew that, but I wanted it to stick out, so we put fucking glue and glitter all over it, so it shines like glittery shit.
Yes, no,
and
I
this
love
is
it.
Me and my friend took our then wives to this Cleveland show, and we were sitting like up in the second balcony, and they were like, "We're gonna go down, and try to find a different seat, get a little closer." I was like, "Sure, here, take the fucking sign, go have fun." It had NWO logo on one side, just the legit NWO logo, and the WCW logo on the other side. So, and this is a Nitro. It was a Nitro live in Cleveland. About 5 minutes after we handed, I was like, well, let's get rid of them so we can have fun. They'll have fun. They were best friends, and so were me and my friend Rich. 2 minutes later, they are in the front row holding my sign up on live TV.
I love it.
I was like, those little bitches got all the way to the front, Rich. I was like, damn it.
I will say she is incredible at drawing and making the signs. Actually, one of her signs, her Drew McIntyre sign, made it onto the WWE's website once.
Sweet.
I know. I was just like,
oh my God,
what is that?
All right, Cherry, your turn. Something that we might not know about you.
Okay.
She's not wearing underpants.
You said something people don't know.
Okay, man. My bad.
There's a couple. So I've always been a musician. Like I've been a singer pretty much my entire life. I taught myself how to play bass guitar actually about 10 years ago.
Cool.
But my first cousin was a one-hit wonder in the 70s. If you've ever heard the song Chevy Van by Sammy Johns, he was my first cousin. He was my Aunt Marie's.
Very cool.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yeah. So music is kind of like in our family and kind of in our blood. Let's see. I am a writer too. I actually have written 2.5 books. I have a series. I'm working on getting the first one published right now.
Chat are writers too, Pillow to Post, and a couple other people out there. They do writing as well. So you're hitting a good spot with a lot of people. Go ahead.
Awesome. I love it.
You have a lot of writers.
Yeah. It's funny because I when I went back to college, I took this freshman grammar and lit comp, and my professor loved my writing. He just told me, is like, I think you really should consider being a writer. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever you say. But, come, 10 years later, this one actually, I can't get my thumb around it, asked me in a chat that us and a couple of Drew fans are in, asked me if I write anything. And I said, well, actually, I have a little idea of this story, and I can kind of whip up a first chapter right quick and let me tell you what you think about it. And they all loved it, and it just kind of from there, and I've been like writing this series like ever since. So
that's awesome.
Thank you, Pillar, thank you. I'm literally I'm looking at getting a literary agent right now. But if that falls through, I'm seriously thinking about self-publishing. So
sweet. That's awesome.
We'll just see.
I'm jealous a lot of that. Part of me likes, I always wanted to do like creative writing, like short stories and stuff, but my attention span's like really short, so I just like long. I always wondered why I was never really good at science and social studies stuff where you had to read a lot of stuff and regurgitate it. I have a learning disability. I can't really comprehend that well when I read really like long, because I don't read like long books or stuff like that. I'm the guy with the book with the pictures in it. I want the pictures, but I admire people that write, and I really have a big admiration for people who sit down, and because I've tried to do it a few times with short stories, and I've wrote music. Because I was a drummer in a band, a couple different bands, so I've wrote different songs and stuff. But that's awesome. Sarah, something people might not know about Miss Sarah.
I have 3 master's degrees.
Yeah, this is amazing. I remember you told this at Mitch's too. Yeah, I was stunned when you were talking about this at Mitch. Elaborate. Like,
I can do that.
Yep, 3 master's degrees. So my undergrad is in business management, and then I did my master's degree again in business management to kind of build on that. But I really liked school. I liked being in school. I liked learning. So I figured, it's only another year since I've already done the 1 master's. I can build on that and do another one. So I did public administration, which is dealing with the court system and all of that. And then I got into what is my now career in HR. So I did a master's degree in HR,
That's amazing.
Damn.
in human resources. So it's cool because it's like I'm still using all of it, my undergrad and my graduate degrees. But yeah, I was crazy. I wanted to go for my doctorate too, but then you have to, that's all out of pocket. Like you can't take out student loans for it. And I'm like, because I wanted to be called Dr. Sarah. And I'm like, well, I can't, it's not really realistic. I don't plan on being like a therapist or a medical doctor. So I'm like, let's just pump the brakes on that a little bit. So, but yeah, 3 master's degrees.
That's amazing. That's something to be proud of too. Good shit. Let's skip past the old regular stuff, and we're gonna do rapid fire WrestleMania picks. So we're gonna quickly go through the matches that are already made. I know a lot of people are gonna do hour shows on previews for Mania. I am hopefully gonna be able to meet Earl and AK because I am going day 2.
So.
I'm gonna fly down day 1. Someone gave me a ticket. So one of my friends, if you don't know the story,
amazing.
it's when you were telling the Sting story, it kind of struck a chord with me about how you got to go to see Sting's final show, Terry. Because my friend who back in the Bill Haight, and I'll use Bill Haight as an example too, and he's not ashamed of it. Bill Haight was a guy who used to write when I did my EFED on paper. We had to write out the match. Like he would literally write, wrestler number 1 fights this guy, does this move, does this happens on the outside. I didn't find out till years later that Bill's dyslexic, but he was writing matches for me. Like it was so inspiring.
Oh, wow.
And it was like this dude was legit overcoming something as just having fun, but but was overcoming something tremendous at the same time. And I think it's a phenomenal story about overcoming stuff. Firestar, good to see you. All these ladies coming in from I was worried about you guys meeting these ladies in a good way. Just too much fun. All right, we're gonna do rapid fire predictions here. For WrestleMania, and you guys, I'm trying to forget about you, Mitch.
Go away, Mitch. My God.
We
All
can't
right,
forget
Mitch.
about Orange Cassidy's bestie.
Yeah.
Go watch some Orange Cassidy.
Orange just texted me and said, "Man, can you get Mitch to finally call me back?" God, jeez.
All right, Mitch. All right, Mitch. Tell us something about yourself we might not know, Mitch.
Orange Cassidy daughter.
Thank you.
That's never not going to be old. That's never going to be
That is never going to get old.
He was like, it looks like crap. I was like, I recorded it with my phone off my TV just to do it real quick. It looks like shit. But he was like, why do I look so young? It's like, I think he just got his hair cut or something.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about some of the Mania matches. This first one, we don't even know who's in the match completely, but real quick, Denise, out of the ones that are here, who do you think walks away with the tag titles?
I like to see DIY.
All right, and you guys in the chat too as well. Cherry,
DIY.
Sarah, me too. I'm right with you. DIY.
Then again, too, even so, I mean, well, not so much Gargano anymore, but Ciampa is a frequent customer in my store, so that would be pretty damn cool.
So amazing.
Yeah, they deserve it. They're finally getting their shine as a team. I agree. Io and Bailey. Denise.
Bailey.
Cherry.
Bailey.
Sarah.
Bailey.
I think, yeah. As much as I'm sick of hearing the story, I think Bailey kind of finishes her story here too. I think the interesting thing about this match, if I were to book it, was I would have someone come in to help Bailey, someone who we wouldn't expect. Someone who we wouldn't expect.
Yep.
Like it's not going to be Sasha, so people out there quit saying that. She's busy.
Right.
But I'd like to see someone unexpected help her. Gunther and Sammy. Sarah first this time.
Gunther.
Cherry?
I'm going to say Gunther, but Damian Priest comes in and cashes in on him.
You think he's going to cash in for the Intercontinental? That's a very polarizing conversation because I've had this with Wrestling Days. Actually, the guy I interviewed, we were talking about it a long time ago.
They started the tease.
If you have an opportunity to challenge for the top title, why wouldn't you? But I get where you're coming from. This is more realistic than getting a shot at. But it's like if you're the wrestler though, don't you want the big top title, no matter who's carrying it? But that's why people shat on the U.S. cash in last time, and now this. But I could see that happening. What about you, Denise?
I'm gonna say, I mean, I've said it before in the past, and like I was surprisingly right with previous matches. You're gonna least expect it. I'm gonna say Sammy.
All right. And I'm not going to be like Mitch and ask everybody if it should be a triple threat and we should add somebody else in.
No.
But as much as Gable, I'd love to see Gable in this position.
Gable deserves it, but
Yeah,
He
because
deserves it more than anybody.
I would be more leaning
Hold on a
towards
second.
Gable winning if it was Gable versus Gunther. That's just
Oh,
me.
absolutely.
Because Gable's got that story now where he's, he couldn't do it right on TV, all disappointed, and now
I was
he
at
can
that
come back
match.
and win it.
I was at that show.
But I love Sammy too. I'm a big fan of Sammy. I'm a big fan. I'm the one who said I thought Gunther should have won the Rumble this year, but he's stuck with that Intercontinental title. I know they wanted to get him the longest reigning and all that, but I'm hoping he doesn't get hurt or anything bad that he gets a shot at the world title someday. But I get sticking with that championship. All right, Cherry first, Rhea and Becky. Becky. Story.
The story. Good for your story.
Where's this? There we go.
I'm gonna say I think Rhea retains.
Okay.
Not that I want it, but
yeah,
I think Rhea retains.
Sarah?
I agree with Cherry. Not that I want it, but because I don't think her title reign has been very good at all. So I would like to see the title off of her, but I have a feeling Rhea will retain.
So what you're saying is, I agree with your assessment.
I
agree.
On the mothership.
On the
ladies
mothership.
and gentlemen.
Yes.
Beat the shit out of you.
Look out now.
Look out now.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I don't know who Reha is, Mitch, but if Reha comes over, maybe Reha.
Maybe he meant to say Reho.
Maybe Reha. Denise.
Becky.
I already asked you, right, Cherry?
I'm gonna be the
You
odd
said
man out.
you.
Say Becky.
Okay. Okay. This one could go either way, but I think Rhea retains. But isn't that the one Becky she hasn't had that title, right?
No.
No.
All right. Night one tag team thing. Sarah.
Roman Reigns and The Rock.
We're picking not who we want to win, who we think will win.
This is who I think's going to win because
there's a big
you got to
difference.
look at it. You have to look at it realistically. They are not going to have Roman lose 2 nights in a row. They're not.
Correct.
So I would rather see them lose in the tag match and then Cody win to get the title off of Roman because I am a firm believer part-time people should not hold titles, period.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think when they announced the Bloodline rules, if they win, they kind of telegraphed this one because they're going to stack the deck against Cody, which I like. I want them to. I'm one of those guys that I was totally against Cody winning last year. And I've argued with a lot of people and debated. They say he should have won last year. And I say, no, he needs his hard time story. But I'm sick of hearing story. But I'm glad that he had to face Lesnar. And then he had to fight back up. And he had to win something to get back into this position. But I do think that them announcing that Bloodline, it'll just intrigue the story. I mean, you don't want to go in thinking, like, as soon as Cody won, he's going to finish the story. Why even have the match? That's why I'm glad they had all that bullshit with Rock, thinking we're going to get Rock and Roman. Then we're not. Whether it was planned the whole way time or not, it doesn't matter to me. The fact that we got something we didn't expect, that's what I'm happy about. I'm with you, Sarah. I don't think if I was a wrestler that should have been in the main event and didn't get the main event night one because of this, I'd be pissed.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, 100%. Like, I don't agree with it. I think it's dumb. And if people do like it, that's fine. I don't agree with it. And I think you're taking the spotlight and the spot away from somebody else who has really, really worked and really, really earned it.
Big
and
Daddy
that's what
Beard.
ticks me off.
Yeah, I mean, Drew winning, I'm sorry, Cherry, but Drew winning the world title on night one would be one hell of a way to end the show.
Thank you.
Because you have his whole
That's what
story
we've been saying
of fighting as the champion to no fans. So he finally then in the overseas match where everyone thought he was going to win, finally he didn't. So it's like Drew winning night one at the main event would be historical for me. I would love it. I'm sure Terry's not going to disagree. But for the sake of this match, Terry, who do you think is going to win? Is it as expected?
Well, she kind of stole my thunder because it's really pissing me off that this is the main event. 'cause I don't want to look at that blonde one any more than not this one, but
That blonde
Yeah,
one,
Jerry.
the one with the gaudy ass neck tattoo. 2 nights in a row in a main event.
No tattoos
Daddy.
on me.
I think Rock and Roll is going to win it, and I have a method in my madness as to what I think is going to, how the ramifications for that is going to be in
Gotcha.
the main event, and in night 2, and we'll get to that.
Yep. Denise, do you agree with our assessment?
I agree with the assessment. Freaking goddamn bloodline, I swear to God.
Yeah. It's, and I get why they're doing it, to add more intrigue to the quote unquote story. But yeah, stealing a spotlight from someone who fought their whole life to be a main event night 1, it's kind of weird. Jimmy and Jay, let's start with Denise on this one. It's a toss up for me.
That's a toughie.
It really could go either way.
Yes. Oh my.
That's what I love about this match. It's not predictable.
Bitch, shut up, man. God.
Oh freaking hell.
You just don't want Damian cashing in on Drew when Drew wins, I'm sure, Cherry.
I want that freaking briefcase like encased in.
That's why she wants him to go after the Intercontinental title. It has nothing to do with which title. Stay away from Drew's fucking title.
But they did start teasing that though. They did start a tease with that. So
yep.
It's not like I'm pulling it out of my butt or anything. But
Denise, did you give a Jimmy or a Jay?
Not yet.
You could flip a coin frog.
I hate saying this. It hurts to say it, but something tells me that Jimmy's gonna win it.
All right, Cherry.
I think Jimmy needs it more. That's how I think.
That's a good point.
He does.
I think he's gonna win it.
All right, Sarah.
Yeet.
Oh, going with the J. See, I really am split. I think it could go either way because the story evolves either way.
Yeah.
And eventually I see them being together again at some point in time, you'd think, but maybe not anytime soon. They don't sound like they're going to end this bloodline storyline anytime soon because we still got Rock and Roman to build too. So this one, let's start with Sarah on this one.
Okay, good. I was like, I have an idea for this one.
All right, go ahead, Sarah.
So,
give it.
So with SummerSlam being in Cleveland, where Mr. Paul is from, I think he's going to retain. He's going to take the title into SummerSlam, and that's where I think, hopefully, LA Knight takes it off of him at SummerSlam in front of his hometown crowd.
All right. Cherry, I like that. Cherry.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking. What I want is for Randy to drop his ass right on that dumb Prime bottle in the middle of the damn ring.
That would be
RKO. But yeah, I think it's kind of obvious what they're building that towards.
All right. Before we get to Denise, I'm sure she would like my take on this. As much as I love LA Knight versus AJ Styles, I wish it was AJ versus Logan and AJ getting that U.S. title. Yep. That's what I wish. I think AJ deserves to have a belt, and I think I'd rather see. As much as I'm a huge KO and Randy Orton fan, and I think that the dynamic between them, it could be even better than Riddle and Orton was when they were playing off of each other, because these two would take on more of a serious tone, but still be comedic. How they joke with each other as buddies, but they don't like each other type of thing. So I think we might see that dynamic come out of this. But I think, like, I kind of agree with Sarah. Logan carries the title into SummerSlam, but I would rather AJ be in this position. Denise, what about you? Who's going to win out of these three? Not AJ.
See, for me, I like where you're going with that, but they're saving a bigger title for AJ before he retires, and I'm going to leave it at that.
What if it's AJ versus Drew for the world title?
Oh, dude, don't even do that. No, please.
It would be whoever's on SmackDown.
Everybody wins in that case because two amazing workers. I mean, imagine the matches they could put on.
They're awesome together, but I don't
know.
You guys would be torn, but yeah, that could be a possibility.
I don't see that happening.
I'm a big KO fan too. I hate him, but we'll see how it's for a spot. Speaking of that match, we'll start with Denise. I wonder who you're going to pick.
You already know my answer to that one. I mean, From the beginning, LA Knight's always had, for whatever reason, an issue with AJ. So, in my eyes, with all this, I'm sure half of y'all are going to disagree. AJ is a victim in this because LA Knight just keeps coming after him for whatever godforsaken reason. So, I'm AJ. I'm with my boy.
I like this. We got people because a lot of people love LA Knight too, and a lot of people love AJ. So this is going to be a fun match. I think hopefully the crowd's hot for this one because I can hear some really fun chants during this match.
Oh yeah.
Cherry.
I really want AJ to win this. I really do. It's funny because I've seen people saying that AJ needs to put the young guy over on. Like he's only like 2 years older than LA Knight.
Yeah, no, neither of them are young, really. Yeah.
What are you talking about? But I think AJ's got to win this.
All right.
He's got to.
Sarah?
I agree with what Max said. I think AJ is owed a big receipt. Like he is owed a big receipt. He has gone for a very long time without really a win. Getting his butt kicked by the Bloodline, and then he got injured, went away, and he came back as this new, more aggressive persona. And I'm digging it. I think it's great.
Cool.
I love LA Knight. I really do, but I think AJ Styles has got this one.
And
I like them both.
And you've already turned Shinsuke into a heel and had him lose pretty much every match except for that one against Sammy. Why would you do that to AJ too?
Yeah.
Because they were starting to do it to Drew until he started getting momentum. So I can see why they would continue to have.
All right, Cherry, the obvious one here. Who's going to win this one?
He's going to put Cackles the Clown down.
All right, Sarah.
Oh, Drew, come on.
This is going to be easy. Denise?
Drew.
I think it's his time too. I think it really is. I mean, Seth, he's hobbled. I mean, and he's going to fight anyway. He's going to show his toughness. They're playing that whole he's not focused on Drew type of story too, but it doesn't matter. I think Drew deserves it based on being a champ for nobody for the longest time, carrying through the pandemic. I agree, and I'm looking forward to it because I said it on our last show. Drew has probably, and it's not just blowing smoke up because I know they're big Drew fans. He has the most intriguing character because he's stating facts. He's not really heel. He's not really face. He's throwing facts in people's faces, warning you about. I warned you about CM Punk and this and that. I'm telling you this. It's a great character right now. It's phenomenal. Pardon the AJ Styles.
Tell me when I'm telling lies.
I'm used to those phenomenal puns. It's cool.
Yeah, and the main event. Will the story finish, Cherry? You said you had a little spin on this.
Oh yes, I do, and people don't like it when I say it. But so Seth is going to be the one getting pinned in that match in night one. He's going to be the one getting pinned.
I think we see Punk there too, Mitch, at some capacity.
I don't want him there because I don't want it. I don't want that being fucking about him because every goddamn thing else.
And maybe if he's just commentary, or if he's just on commentary,
but everyone's going to be focused on him and not on the two guys in the ring. No, I don't.
And I agree with you, Cherry, but I'm telling you,
he can go sell ice cream bars out.
They're going to want CM Punk on the docket somewhere, and that's where he fits.
He can host and then go sell ice cream bars outside.
There you go.
But so I think Seth is going to get pinned. And I think he is going to lose to Drew. He may lose it like really quickly because, like you said, he's not focused. And then the whole thing. And it could be that there's some sort of shenanigans. The Rock costs him. Someone from the Bloodline costs it because Drew's not going to give him any. He's not going to show him any mercy. He's not going to give a crap who comes out. He's not going to care. He's going after that title. But Cody's not going to come out to help him. And that's going to rub him the wrong way. And then you've also got the fact that he lost 3 times in a row to Cody.
Yep.
When he really honestly shouldn't have, but still. And so I think they're going to have the whole, mega Homelander is going to he's going to overcome every single obstacle the Bloodline is thrown at him. They're going to throw everything at him. He's going to overcome it because he's super Cody and he wins every fucking match in the world. It's going to be the most greatest thing. And he's going to have Roman in that crossroads and he's getting ready to turn it. And people are going to expect Solo to spike him. But no, Seth is going to drop him, and then Roman's going to spear him, and Roman is going to pin him, and that's going to move into Seth versus Cody for again, and Roman versus Rock.
All right, and I mean, I've heard the rumblings about the thing that keeps looming in my head is Hogan's reign is right after SummerSlam.
Yep.
So if they want to keep it on Roman, Cody can get it later, whether it's Survivor Series or next year even, and then they're just pushing Roman Rock back even further. But my first intuition says that he finishes the story. He, like you say, overcomes everything. It would be very intriguing because of the story with Seth, if Seth would come back to haunt him after not helping Cody, not helping the first night.
Primetime, why in the world would CM Punk help Seth? He can't stand him either. So why would he help? The whole thing about, him helping Seth. Why?
Yeah.
What would be the reason? No.
I mean, to me, it is the fact that you do need to build it up to look like Cody can't win, like he can't overcome it. But I think Tama would be nice in there. Actually, Tama Tonga, if you think about it, has a Bullet Club tie to Cody Rhodes more than he does with the family, just because he's Samoan. He's an Islander, or I should say. He has ties on both sides. Tama Tonga can be associated with either one of these guys.
But Leo, Damian Priest cannot cash in his Money in the Bank at.
I was going to say that
because
he only has 100 days.
I heard this from somewhere else, and I thought, if R-Truth can somehow convince Damian that this is the last day you can challenge for it, but R-Truth fucked up his clock or something, and he's actually a day late.
That would be amazing.
Oh my
he goes to cash in, and they're like, dude, that was yesterday. You can't cash in. It ran out.
You know what? I want to bring something up with the whole briefcase. So Cherry mentioned this a while ago, like months ago, and it's fantastic. So while they haven't shown an actual contract in the briefcase, do you remember months and months ago that JD McDonut gave Damian Priest a new purple briefcase?
Yeah.
It would be cool if he went to go cash in. They go to get the contract out, and there's no contract in the briefcase.
It would be interesting. I've heard that theory before, but the first thing I do, because I'm a debater, I'm not a master debater. I'm not going to go there. I'm a debater. I like the other side of the coin when people throw something at me. So what I would say to that is, when people cash in, how many times do they actually open and look for a contract? They don't. They just grab it and ring the bell most of the time. But that would be an intriguing story that there's no contract in there. It's in the other briefcase. But I'm trying to think of all the cash-ins. I don't remember them ever grabbing the briefcase and pulling out a piece of paper. They just say, "Oh, you're cashing in."
But the idea of him. Let's say Cody does overcome everything because he's Super Cody and the greatest fucking thing that ever walked the face of the freaking earth and greater than sliced bread. Okay. And he's unbeatable. What if Damian Priest does cash in on him instead?
Yeah.
He loses that title, the tag titles. Mommy's not happy. He goes and tries to cash in. Whether he's successful or not, they're talking about him turning face. He gets kicked out of the Judgment Day because he either fails cashing in on Drew. Everyone expects him to cash in on Drew because of the heat. Do something unexpected. That's why I was like, let him cash in on Gunther. Let him try to cash in on Roman or Cody, whoever wins that match.
At Damian Priest, he is not anywhere near ready to hold a heavyweight title or a world title. It is,
but the fact that there are different branches to these quote unquote stories, it's not super predictable. That's why I kind of
yeah.
There are different avenues they can take.
Factor.
You got that, Roman trying to go for Hulk Hogan's thing facing. You got the whole, if Cody doesn't finish the story now, why would he even keep fighting after a year and a half of this shit? There's a lot going into it. I wish they would do the tag match on like SmackDown before. Like they should do the tag match on SmackDown. Let one of the girls matches, let Rhea Becky main event night one or something, or let Drew do it. You know, it's
Those 4 egos are not going to allow for that. You know
No.
that.
but
It's not
but
going to happen.
but that's a lot of good points. I mean, like I said, yeah, there's nothing inside the briefcase, but if they wanted to make the piece of paper part of an angle, they could easily do that.
Yeah.
Samion, yeah. But
But
I mean,
I
we'll
hope
see.
I hope he's not successful in his cash in. He's got
We'll
less
see.
think he
than
will
100
be.
days at this point to do it.
So the last thing I wanted to do before we go into our final thought, which we do our final thought here a specific way, was a little game called Would You Rather?
Oh, God.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Now, there are literally hundreds of them, so it's tough. I'm going to ask
Oh.
you ladies first, but the chat also, I'm going to put it in the chat. The first one, and we're going to start with Sarah. Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or be able to talk to animals? Would you rather?
Oh, talk to animals.
So you want to talk to animals? All right, Cherry, what about you?
talk to animals. They're a hell of a lot more interesting than
Okay.
people.
I like animals more than I like most
animals or every language. Denise?
Talk to animals.
I do too. Like, I don't know how many times I've looked at my cat and I'm allergic to dogs. I love dogs or else I'd have them, but I have 3 rescue cats and I look at them and I say, I really wish you could like tell me like it hurts right here. Or, a cat can't talk to you. Like if I could talk to an animal and be like, hey bird, how the fuck did you get into my house? Or something, or Mr. Squirrel, how'd you get so fast? Like I'd want to talk to animals. I think everyone's kind of the same way. They want to talk to the animals. I agree.
Talk to the animals.
All right, here's a kind of a superpower-ish one. There's so many of these. We literally could do an hour and a half just on Would You Rathers because they bring up some good stories. All right, Cherry, we're going to start with you. Would you rather have the ability to be invisible or to read people's minds?
I would so read people's minds.
Really? And you wouldn't be vindictive and use it against them at all, would you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I would love to.
Max
just
said he
know
would be
what-
invisible. Firestar wants to read minds. Crystal
read
says
minds.
invisible. Leo says invisible. What about you, Denise?
Dude,
Mind reader?
totally love reading the minds, but no, being invisible, you could fuck with people so bad. That would be like the most entertaining thing ever.
I would love to fuck
you're
with
not
people.
supposed to go.
Yeah. Yes. Reading people's minds, I'd be afraid it'd be like on the Marvel movie where he hears everybody's minds. Like you couldn't.
Oh
control it.
yeah.
Like that would drive me absolutely batty. Like I wouldn't be able to handle that. If I could read minds, I'd be in jail. Sarah, what about you? Invisible or reading minds, Sarah?
I would like to read people's minds, not like in a bad way, but because you brought up a good point, like having all the voices come at you at once, but it would be nice for me to be able to help somebody if they don't know how to ask for help, or
That's a good spin on it.
Or if they're sick, but they don't like want to tell me they're sick. You know what I mean? Like I'd be able to read their mind and know that they're sick. They're not feeling
That is
good.
such a sweetheart answer. Like, isn't that like the sweetest answer?
That's so not the Cherry answer. I love it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We get different perspectives here, man. All right, Sarah, we're going to stay with you. Would you rather be a kid your whole life or an adult your whole life? Never get to be a kid or never get to be an adult?
Oh, gosh, that's tough.
Mitch wants to read people's minds. That's scary.
He'd want to read people's minds and tell them to watch more Orange Cassidy.
That's exactly it.
A kid or an adult your whole life? It's a tough one. That is a tough one because you're giving up all the fun of adulthood, but you're giving up all the fun of a kid. Either one.
I have such good memories from when I was a kid, but I guess I'd rather be an adult because then I can do what I want, when I want, how I want, go where I want, and I don't have to worry about anything.
Good point. I like that philosophy behind it. All right, Cherry.
Oh man.
You swayed me, Sarah.
So can I do what Sarah does, but have the knees I had as a kid?
Yeah, look,
mesh them together.
Like, I want to be a kid, so I don't have to pay bills. I want to be a kid, so I don't have to pay bills.
Exactly.
Coach is going to read people's minds so he can get their bank codes and be a thief. All
A
right.
kid with a mind of a parent.
No old body pain, exactly, Coach Ed. I'm going to say, I'm probably going to say be an adult, just
All right.
because,
It's tough to give up freedom.
It's tough to give up freedom, and it's tough to have the mind comprehension of an adult to process, things that happen in your life. Those experiences really make you who you are, and not being able to kind of comprehend that from the mind of a child, it would be, for the rest of your life, would be a very hard thing to do.
Good point. Denise.
Adult. Be an adult.
It's so like when it first started, my first instinct was kid. I was like, I want to be a kid again. Let me be a kid. Then I'm like, the way you guys put it, you're like, you got to give up this. Then you got to have someone telling you what to do all the time again. And you got to do this. And there are some weird.
You can still act like a kid to a degree as an adult.
Hey, I always say I'm gonna grow old, but I'm never gonna grow up.
Amen. Amen.
Oh man, there's some really tough ones here. Okay, how about this one? We'll start with Denise on this one.
Mitch. He said, I want to be a kid so people can clean after me.
You got jokes, Mitchell. You have jokes.
All right, Denise first. Would you rather visit the past or travel into the future? You have the magic DeLorean.
Visit the past because I don't want to see the future because you can always alter something to interrupt the future.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. Cherry, what about you?
I would visit the past just because I would love to go back and see, people, the way they dressed back in the day. And, and because I'm a history buff, I would love to go and see some of this history actually being made.
Okay, that's fair. Sarah?
Mitch, really?
I'm texting your bestie right now, telling him you're talking shit about
Quit denying it, Mitch. We all know you love him.
Orange Cassidy, daughter.
You said it. A lot of people are saying past. Like, I'm thinking back to the future.
I would go to the past. Not super duper far in the past. I would just go in the past so I could have more time with my dad before he passed away.
Fair.
That's what I would do.
I would go back and, just like Biff from the movie, have a sports almanac. I know who won every Super Bowl. I'd be betting on. I would be rich real fast. But I'm not one of those guys. I don't gamble. So if I would ever gamble, and this is the way I learned. I went to Atlantic City with my friends once, and I had $100 for a chips just to play different slots or whatever, just to have said I did it. Too anxiety for casinos, not my style. But I got up at like 2 and 3 in the morning, and I had one $10 chip left. And I was like, you know what? Let's go down to the casino. My friends were still gambling on the high tables, all crazy shit. I go down, I find this thing where you can put it on 10-1, 100-1, 1,000-1, and it spins this big wheel. So I put it on 10-1 and just walked away. It hit 10-1, so I won $100. So this guy slides it back right to where I was, like I was going to keep betting. I took the 10. I took 10 and gave him the $10 tip, kept my 100 and walked away. I was like, I just got all my money back. So if I would go into the past and bet and win all this money, every time I win money, half of it would get donated to like a charity or something. Like I would never take all of it, but I would go back into the past. There are so many good ones here. I should have did ones just for adults because then they get real dirty.
Oh God. Like Cards Against Humanity.
Yes.
Oh, that game is so much fun.
We are all adults here.
We are adults.
And it is after 10 p.m.
It is. It's after prime time.
Would you rather? Here, I found another list. Let's check this one.
Oh God.
No, that's similar to the one. Okay. All right. This one was on the other one, so we'll do this one. We'll start with Cherry. Would you rather run into an alien or Bigfoot?
God.
You want to discover an alien, or would you rather meet Bigfoot?
I mean, I live in North Carolina, so I probably have to run into Bigfoot. Actually, our neighboring county has its own Sasquatch. It's named Nobby.
We have Sasquatch groups that
he
follow them around here.
he don't like the rough talk, you know. Especially, you know, and he seems to come out when there's moonshine around. I don't know. It just seems quite but probably aliens, because this one, my husband over here is like obsessed with that show Ancient Aliens, and like jokes with me all the time. So yeah, probably. Well, he likes that dude with the dumb hair, the aliens guy.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens. But it was aliens. So
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So aliens.
Denise?
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot?
I don't know.
All right.
He just seems like
he'd be a cool guy to hang out with.
an easier encounter. Aliens are so like unpredictable.
True.
And you're getting more like Bigfoot just seems like more technical in a way.
Bigfoot likes some gems.
And everything. I don't know. Definitely probably Bigfoot.
All right. I saw three of you, right?
Oh, hey, John Cena's in the
That's
house.
Sarah. I didn't ask you.
Nope.
Which one is it?
Oh,
Sarah?
you can't see me.
Alien or Bigfoot?
Bigfoot.
Everyone says, well, what did you say, Sarah?
Bigfoot.
Oh, you said Bigfoot too. All right.
Because it's similar to a Yeti.
All right.
I mean, they are kind of. I mean, they are. You know, Bigfoot's kind of a big hippie. You know, just hanging out and being groovy. You know, that'd be cool.
All right, Sarah, we'll stick with you. Would you rather have super weird dreams forever or never dream again?
Oh.
I love dreams. Dreams fascinate the shit out of me because I know dreams are taken from some of your past experiences and stuff and mixed in with your fantasies. I love dreams. Fascinate the shit out of me because you can't dream something that you haven't already saw in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's on TV.
I'd rather have the weird dreams.
Super weird.
I have weird dreams anyway. So
yeah. I don't see this guy, but he said he's never going to dream again. I can't see him.
Okay, Freddy Krueger.
Don't fall asleep.
What about you, Denise? Weird dreams or never dream again?
Weird dreams.
Yeah, I'm all about
weird dreams.
Do you ever like wake up in the middle of a really weird dream?
Yes.
Be like either like happy you're out of it or wish you could jump back into that dream.
Yes.
I actually wrote when I was writing songs for the band we were in. I wrote a song about jump into your dream, and it was about loving someone who doesn't know you love them and wishing you could jump into their dreams to make them love you or understand how you care about them. So I always wanted to jump into people's dreams. So who did I ask that? Who hasn't asked that one yet?
I haven't answered.
Jerry.
Super weird dreams. I have them all the time, and actually they fuel me creatively when I write. So, so funny. So this is okay. This is the weirdest dream I ever had. I was actually pregnant with Josie, and I had so many weird dreams when I was pregnant. Oh my God. It was just like one after another. So in this dream, I'm hanging out with the Foo Fighters. And,
cool.
I love Foo Fighters.
And so like we're hanging out, and I don't know if you remember the show from the 80s and 90s called Kids in the Hall. The truth.
Yes. I'm crushing your head.
Crushing your head.
I'm crushing your head right now.
So they come along, and so all of us go on this quest, and I don't know what the quest was, but it was something. We were going to go do something, but I remember thinking, I look at Dave Grohl and say, dude, I don't feel so good. I think I'm going to throw up. I wake up, and I'm having what I think is morning sickness.
Oh,
and so I go and do my thing, and I go back to bed. But then I hear my sister-in-law, who is like living with us at the time. I hear her throwing up.
Jeez.
So she and my niece and our niece had caught a stomach bug at the Children's Museum in Richmond. So I got really bad sick. But the Foo Fighters and Kids in the Hall helped wake me up out of the weird dream that I was having from them.
Foo
Yeah,
Fighters are arguably my favorite concert I've ever seen. I've seen a ton of rock concerts and stuff like that. Foo Fighters impressed me because they played for 3 hours straight. He came out and did 5 acoustic songs, and then he asked the
Dave
crowd.
Grohl is
He asked the
fantastic.
crowd how many encore songs they wanted us to do, and he went up like 1, 2. He went up until they went to like 7 encore songs, and he played 7 encore songs too. Like it was phenomenal.
They're still on my bucket list of bands to see.
They are arguably one of the best that I've seen, where you can kind of sometimes close your eyes and it sounds like you're hearing the album. You know, Incubus was another one like that. You could close your eyes, it sounded like you were hearing the album. It was amazing.
Yes.
Here's another one. Did everyone get that last one? The weird move, the dream one? All right. Denise first. Would you rather live in a world without music or without movies?
Oh,
You got to give up one.
I'll get.
That's tough. That is tough.
Damn.
You got to give one.
I'll give up movies.
All right. Cherry?
Movies. I can't live without music.
All right. Sarah? Yeah, it's not fair, Matt. You're right.
I know it's not fair because I'm like, realistically, so does that mean if you pick movies and all the movies you watch, it won't have music in them?
That's a great caveat. Nice caveat to the question.
You know,
if you pick music, your movies would not have any music in them. Yeah, you would. If you pick without music, you would have movies, but you wouldn't have music in your movies.
well, I like horror movies too much, so I'd have to pick movies. I can deal with just having the sound effects. As long as I have the sound effects, I'm good. Like, I'll be okay.
Denise, did you answer this one?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I can't live without music. Music is like the soundtrack to my life.
Yes.
As a DJ and a musician myself and everything, man, I was like, I don't know if I could do without music. There's some times where I like hear a song and it puts me right back into that place.
Oh God,
like
yes.
30, 40, 50 some years ago.
All the time.
So that's one I don't think I could give up. There's so many.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be a good one to end on. That was a good one. There's a lot of really weird ones and stuff, and could actually do these like forever.
We like weird. It's okay.
Victor, what's happening?
Yeah.
So we're at the 2-hour mark. I always try to keep these around 2 hours if I can. But we always end our shows. And we did get to find out a little more about each one of us. And we all found out more about some of each other and people in the community that we have a lot in common. So if you know someone who says at the end of the day, they probably say it way too much. So our final segment is called At the End of the Day. And I always make fun of like when Mitch will say it. It'll be like afternoon. He's doing a stream. He's like, at the end of the day, it's just, I'm like, Mitch, it's like 1 o'clock. You can't say at the end of the day. But it's just me digging on people. Like some people who say to tell the truth or not going to tell a lie or to be honest with you. It's like, what, are you normally lying? Like I know a guy who he says to tell you the truth. I'm like, please tell me the truth. I don't want you to lie to me. So it's the same thing. Like people that say, to be honest with you. I'm like, okay, so you're being honest. Thank you, I guess. It's all said and done. That's another saying someone says a lot that I know. It's all said and done. When it's all said and done. I'm like, all right. I have no words. That's another one. Mitch is like, I have no words. And then they go on to talk about it for another 20 minutes. I guess you did have words. So our final segment we do at the end of the day. So you got to give your final thought, but you have to start it with at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. So here's our final segment. We'll be right back.
Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
It's the Decepticon communicators! Get more Autobots!
The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
The Transformers from Hasbro.
Oh my
All
God.
right.
I love that.
I actually
Oh,
have one show
yeah.
where I'm going to do nothing. Like there's Zestfully Clean and Double Mint Gum and Where's the Beef and all kinds of old commercials. I'm going to do one where it's nothing but old commercials and stuff to have fun with. I used to have them all in here, but I've taken a lot of them out. But this has been a blast. So we're going to end it with at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm going to bed.
Go to bed, Mitch.
Aren't you up past your bedtime anyway?
It is past his bedtime. You already had your brownies. Go to bed.
Let's see. I started with Sarah, then Cherry, then Denise. So we'll go in reverse. We'll go counterclockwise. At the end of the day, Denise, final thoughts.
At the end of the day, love yourself, your family, and your friends, and go to bed happy. Don't be mad at life at the end of the day.
I love it. I love it. You know what she just got me to do? You know what you just did? You know what you just did?
Oh no.
Naughty Blaise.
See?
When it was born at.
Boing.
Blaise.
I like you. I like you.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get dirty and nasty. Take your clothes off and, like she said, play with yourself. Touch yourself. Stick your hand down your pants and play with yourself. Have fun with yourself. Get deep into it and make love to yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself up. Love yourself down. Love yourself in and out, baby, all night long. Oh, baby. Find a naked body and rub your naked body up against it and sweat. Make it sweat. Make it get dirty and nasty. That's what we do right here, baby. We get freaky deep.
Oh my God.
Oh, baby.
I never said any of that.
That's the quiet storm, Coach Ed. You don't know about the quiet storm. I even got primetime week in the knees.
Oh my God.
I'll be sure.
I said this on our other show when I was on at the Queens of the Ring. I said, once I started talking with you girls, like I realized I could sit here and talk to you guys for like hours. And sure enough, we talked for like 2 hours after the other show, just talking and bantering and having fun. And that's I think that's what it's all about, is just having these connections with these people. And I keep thinking of rest his soul, Jeffrey Turner, who I said was, I joined this network because I wanted to pick up where he left off, not try to replace him, but I wanted to try to not fill his shoes, but do what he was doing with respect, with love, and bringing people together and letting people agree to disagree. Like I always say, one of the strangest podcasts I'm on is every Wednesday, me, Mitch, Coach Ed, Randy, TRL, we get together and we are 6 different basketball fans with 5 different teams, but we can argue in a fun way. We can debate without being ignorant or insulting each other. Like there was this trash talk community I used to find when I was digging into communities. It was mostly a bunch of kids saying, "Oh, you're a Cowboy fan. Well, I fucked your mother and your daughter and your sister." Like that's not trash talk. That's just being stupid. Like, you can build great bonds with people and just shoot the shit with them, have fun. And we did it tonight. We did it the last time. And that's what you expect when you watch these ladies on the Queens of the Ring or any of Earl's watch-alongs with these ladies or anything. It's like I always said, like, my Wrestle Sense podcast, I wish could got out to more people to hear. Same thing with the basketball one every Wednesday. I wish more people could hear it because it's a different spin than what you see about. Same thing with your podcast. I want more people to see. And if you're not subbed to the Hardcore Sports Network, I mean, the link's been in the chat. Make sure you do and check out these ladies when they do their thing with the Hardcore Sports Network, whether it's a watch along, just to add more. I always say for watch alongs, because some people are like, oh, why would I want to watch someone else watch something? Maybe you want alternate commentary. Maybe you don't like the people commentating, or you just want like a party atmosphere. Like there used to always be these WrestleMania parties every year where people get together and just watch wrestling. And I think it's the same thing that you guys give on the watch alongs and stuff. It's just like hanging out and watching wrestling with a bunch of people that you love. and it's you may not agree with everything. You feel that common bond. Like, so I'm kind of wrapping everything up because that's the way we started the conversation. So we're bringing it back to the same thing, which is like if I ask the regular questions like, "What's your favorite thing about being a content creator? What's your worst thing?" Or what's the best comment you ever got? Or what advice would you give to a content creator? Like all those answers are normally the same. They're always, be yourself, have fun, don't let people get you down. And this show, I want to just lead by example. Just go out and show people. You don't have to be a dick to get attention. You can just have fun with people, and you can disagree and dig in each other and have fun in different ways. What was your question, Mitch? These are my questions. You didn't ask any questions.
Last time I recall, Mitch, you stole his questions. So just
burn.
Yeah, thank you. Coach Ed, Mitch's interview series. That's why I didn't mind giving him the questions that I asked, because they are general. And if you Google interview questions, you're going to get a lot of those same ones. But that's why I want to personalize it. Like when, we talked about WrestleMania, we talked about wrestling, we talked about, nostalgia and old stuff that, I want to bring something different. Like next week with Coach Blaise, we'll concentrate more about football and talk about sports more because he's a coach and I used to coach and things like that. But I want people to broaden your horizons. Go out and look at other, you don't have to be like me, or I'd never ask anyone to do like I do, but if someone learns off of me, good. But because I went out, I just realized don't put yourself in one little box. Like I went out and looked at all these different, communities, and I found good stuff from all the community. Then I found a lot of stuff that I didn't want to do. Like I found people that ignored their chat completely, never acknowledged their chat at all, And I mean, that's what makes the shows for me. Like if you watch my regular EFED shows or anything, I always want to be interactive. I want to play roulette where you guys guess a number and try to win. I want to play the dad jokes things. I want interactive stuff because I want you in the chat to be part of the show. That's why it's more fun. Because it's not just us hanging out, talking about us. Like I've seen podcasts where they go on, they just talk about themselves. This is an interview. We were supposed to talk about ourselves, but we're not doing it to get praise for ourselves. We're doing it so we can learn from each other and all become better human beings, better at just tolerating people. Because I always say, and I jokingly say it, I'm a people person that doesn't like people. Because people nowadays they're assholes, they're pricks,
they're jerks,
they're entitled, they're you can put your name on a million of it, but I still love people. Like when I was a manager, I taught my employees, if an old lady comes in, treat her like she's your grandma, if you're nice to your grandma. I mean, if someone comes in at your age, teach them it's like your buddy or your pal or someone at the lunch table that you're friends with. Be able to, I can talk to a kid differently than I'm going to talk to an older lady. I'm going to respect the elders. But there's some people that are younger that act more mature than people that are old. Like it's a crapshoot. And I think the biggest pitfall that from all these interviews that I found is the one thing that I don't like about YouTube is the anonymity. The fact that I can create a Mitch Kofsky with his picture and I could go around and pretend I'm him. I can create a primetime 210237 account and pretend like I'm him. That's the one thing I really hate about it. But if you can look past all that, do your best to bring people together. Cherry, at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, be a light in the world. Don't create darkness where it doesn't need to be. Just show that light. And especially in the wrestling community, don't be a smart mark. Be a Josie. Watch the product like you're watching it through the eyes of a child, not someone who has to analyze every little thing and pick apart every little thing. Oh, this is going to happen. Oh, this is going to happen. Some people don't want to.
It's not fun.
It's not fun. I've had professional wrestlers tell me they would rather wrestle in front of one of her than 10,000 smart marks. They that sit on their hands and just go, oh, well, I know he's going to win this. I have insider information.
I love the prospecting and stuff like that, but I'm a reactive other than a proactive person. I like to react to what happened other than say, this is supposed to happen or that should happen. It should be this way or it's terrible, because I'm open for, different interpretations. You know, Sarah might tell me something about a match and I would never have thought of compared to how Denise looked at something.
Right.
And that's fine. That should be okay. The tribalism, the bullshit between you can only like one company or you can't like the other, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. It really is. It reminds me of back that when me and Cherry talk about the old territory days and those, it's more similar to that now to me than it was during the Attitude Era or any of that shit, man.
Yes.
It's getting back to, you should be able to, like I said, your wrestle sense is your sixth sense. That's where the name came from. Like who you want to like, cheer who you want to cheer, boo who you want to boo, hate who you want to hate. That's the beauty of this escape known as our fantasy world of wrestling. People that don't understand that it's not just us watching a fake sport. There's so much behind it. Like you get so invested in the characters. Like we talk about how passionate she is about Drew. She is about AJ. I am about Sting. Like all this stuff. Like, but also keep in mind, they are not gods. You know, they're human beings too, busting their ass every day. And that's one thing I learned when I did my gig as a ring announcer a couple times. Just got a little taste of behind the scenes, just a little taste of what the boys in the back are like. And people don't think about that. Now you're putting together big, muscly guys and girls that have egos that think they're all God's gift to the world. That's how people are like that. And for any promoter, indies, big professional, to bring all those people together and make a show work and make it entertaining. I always say, what I want for my wrestling, I want to be entertained, I want to be amused, and I want to be surprised. If you can give me those three things in a wrestling TV show, I'm happy. I like to be, I don't want to be right all the time. If you sit here going, this should happen, that should happen, and it all happens, so what? What do you want, a fucking cookie, a pat on the back? I would rather be wrong. That's why when we did WrestleSense, it wasn't really about here's predictions. It's who I would want to, or how I would book it. Have fun with it. Because as much as you want to get into your characters, don't let it take over your life.
Right.
You know, it's not the end of the world. It is our entertainment. And I think that's the beauty of it. If everyone can just take a step back and respect everyone else's opinions and realize there are a bunch of different types of wrestling fans. Like I joke it around here because I live in hick country where, you know, the dregs of society love wrestling. Hillbillies and Hill Jackson, you know, Aunt, Grandma, and all, they love wrestling. They love wrestling.
I live in Gaston County, North Carolina. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, you go to indie shows, see, I mean, no, if I trust me, these are loyal fans that I love. There's specific types. You go to the big WWE shows, you'll see families, you'll see kids. You know, I miss the old WCW, ECW type stuff where it was all like dudes in their 30s and badass bitches that are the fans. It's like people that want to get rowdy. And like when I think of wrestling, I think of gladiators. These are our gladiators. Back in the day, they would go into the Coliseum and watch people fight a fucking lion or fight each other with swords. These are my gladiators, but I don't want them to really kill each other. So I'm glad it's performance art. I mean, it's an art. That's the way I look at it. People that say, oh, it's just fake sports. No, the bumps and bruises I saw these guys have just from being in the back a couple times, from a chair shot or, you know, just a tack that they had to pull out of their skin. I'm like, my goodness, like they're risking their lives to entertain us every time they step into a ring.
Yep.
And you got respect for that. That's why I think if more people got explained the behind how you like, why people like wrestling. It's not just for, you know, I want to pretend it's like the one guy who was on WrestleSense once. He goes, Blaise, I like you. You never call it a wrestling match. You always call it a fight because that's what I want to believe it is. I want to believe it's a fight. I want to suspend my disbelief that I'm seeing two people that don't like each other or they want to get over on the other one to beat them. The feel of competition with performance art way to present it. That's what wrestling is. It's an art form.
Yep. And yes, primetime Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling.
Yep. All those. I loved all that old stuff. Sarah, at the end of the day, Sarah Hapka.
Kindness is free.
Nope, you got to start it with at the end of the day. Follow the rules.
You started it, so that's why I didn't say it.
You always have to start. That's the whole pun is people that say it
okay.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, kindness is free. So choose to be kind to others, but don't let people take advantage of you.
Love it. Love it. It reminds me of a shirt that I have because when I got monetized and people were super chatting or becoming members, I couldn't justify it. I didn't want their money. but I put it back into the channel with lights and computers and stuff. But I didn't want to alienate those who could not afford to become a member or to chat. So I always say, I coined a phrase, loyalty is currency. So hitting the like button, typing in the chat, leaving a comment, that's currency for us content creators. That means just as much as a super chat or a membership to me. It really does. And I appreciate everyone who's been here tonight, Sleeping Angels, Coach Ed, each person that stopped by, even you, Mitch, Prime Time, the people from earlier. I mean, we had so much fun.
Mitch.
And no, I'm not going to interview Mitch again. I'm sick of interviewing him. He's been interviewed twice, and he wants a third time.
Maybe he wants to share a new brownie recipe and tell you more about his bestie, Orange Cassidy.
I hope I get to meet him when I go to WrestleMania.
I really do hope you guys are able to like connect.
I plan on live streaming. I plan on live streaming if the service is good. So you might see me meet Earl, meet Mitch. Who knows? See what's going on. Some other friends. But it should be interesting. It'll be fun. This was a blast. Yes. But one thing I always do is share the love. And what I'm going to do right now, before I give my final thought, is drop a link. Because right now, my good friend, Goddess of Pain, is live.
I like her.
She's trust me.
Yeah, she was
Go listen to her talking over there on her show. You'll like her even more. She's a one of a kind. And there's so many people. I could go through all the personal shit that some of these people in this community have gone with. But we all overcome. We stay together. So Blaise Ray.
My God.
Oh my God, dude.
What did I miss?
Oh.
Look at Coach Ed's comment.
The last comment.
Oh, Lord.
He wants the third interview. He wants the threesome. Yes, indeed.
Oh my
God.
So go ahead and click on the link. We're going to head over to Goddess's channel and have some fun with her. Whipping Post Wrestling is live. We're going to go over to get some whippings. For Sarah, Cherry, and Denise, it's been my pleasure. A little bit of naughty Blaise, but more of like a serious let's hang out type of Blaise. Oh, I can do that too. Let's see. We get all four of us.
Yes, I like it.
All four. Yeah. Go there. Get it down there, Sarah. Yeah. Sweet. All right, y'all.
To do it.
Got blazed. We're out of here. Get blazed. Get blazed. Blaise. Blaise.